Alright, so we got through the full first day of trial. It was a pretty good day. I think the insight dragged on a little bit. There were like 4 sections, there probably should have been 3, but that's fine. Testimony was good, only one witness. They kept mentioning Emma, but we never actually got to see her. So imagine that, you saw a verdict handed down despite not hearing from the detective or the investigator, scientific investigator at this point, who even the prosecution is vouching for. We should have heard from her, but she would have saved us from the guilty verdict, I bet. Let's go in. Only thing I don't like is sometimes these starting screens don't have any music, so I don't like to review without music in the background. But whatever, it's fine. Oh no, it does have music. Oh, because I did a little intro to the investigation, but not much. So we're gonna have her following us around again. Let me think about what happened yesterday. What happened was, we started off the trial with the insights. We proved them wrong again. The insights were all about proving the positions were wrong. We disproved the position. Her face is being blocked by that banner I put, but that's fine. It's not like we're talking to her right now. So we proved the positions were wrong. We proved that there's a third person there, and that was the insight part. Then we thought we could prove that the witness, Dad's Arball, was Lady Kee'ra. That's what Phoenix went for, even though I kept saying the wife should be, but I went along with it. Phoenix tried to, so we proved that he was there, but now apparently he's a fourth party there. So there were 3 inside the curtain and 1 outside. He landed like on the side, bumped his head. Then somehow he escaped from the court, which is pretty frustrating that they let that happen. I don't even know how he did it. He just jumped up and said, "I'm leaving," and he left. Apparently a heavily guarded courtroom with bailiffs with guns couldn't stop him. They should have shown it more like he had help or something. But yeah, the way he escaped was really unconvincing. They showed it like, literally he just like jumped up and then, oh, he's gone. And this is the same universe where the Phantom, even with all his crazy technology, with the roof being broken and his covert skills, he couldn't escape. He even got sniped by some unknown assailant. So somehow this country is a little bit less impressive than I thought. They couldn't even keep this guy. And that should be their priority. Like, forget about Phoenix right now. Shouldn't they be more worried about the right hand of Dirk, who they keep talking about? Phoenix is a nobody. He's no threat to them compared to him, so he just let them get away and continued with the trial. And then, what else did we accomplish? The Phoenix did get a guilty verdict on his head, Maya and him, which supposedly they keep saying you'll be sent to the Twilight Realm, which means he should be executed. So what they could do is just say, you can't investigate today, you're in jail, you're already guilty, that case is over. And then say this is a separate trial, somebody else got killed, so you have to find another defense attorney for this if you're Maya. And there aren't any defense attorneys, so you would just lose. And we could call up Apollo or Athena, hey, we need help. That's maybe how I would have written it, but Phoenix is apparently being given free rein to investigate even though he's convicted. So he has a knife hanging over his head. So what I was thinking for this day is, since his back is against the wall so much, it's like one of those tests, like when people say, oh, if you had 72 hours left to live, or a week left to live, what would you do? So with Phoenix, he's kind of in that, like he has 24 hours to live. So is he going to change the way he behaves here? Is he going to be more assertive or not as like submissive and comic relief and kind of clumsy? Or is he going to be more serious? That's why I even said if it was me, I'd be like Manfred von Karma. Like I wouldn't mind forging evidence or doing extreme things because it's just such an unfair situation. You've already lost. You have nothing to lose. So I just wouldn't care at this point. I just want to get out of the same country if I was him. But obviously we know he's Phoenix. Goody two-shoes Phoenix. He's not going to do it. But I just want to see if he considers it. If he's pushed that far. And that's what I would do. I wouldn't. So he should be very aggressive. And she even said she wasn't going to follow me around. And then Phoenix kind of tricked her. Like, she said, oh, what if I... So the thought crosses mine. I think he even said that. I have nothing to lose. I'm already guilty. So don't you think I would forge evidence now, if at any time? And then she said, no, I'll watch you more closely then. So he kind of gave up the notion, or maybe he did that to prevent the temptation. He maybe had a thought that he might do it, so he wants her to watch him. I doubt that though. But it seems like he wanted her to follow him for some reason. And what else is of interest? We're definitely going to go after the wife today. I don't know if they'll catch that That's Our Ball guy today. They might. That might be like case 4 or 5 or something later that we have to come back to. That was a really disappointing escape. And what else do we got? Maya is still locked up. Apparently I'm allowed to investigate still. And the one thing I didn't get also, this might come back to be prosecutor sodomy, is what I call him anyway. That's what it sounds like, sodomy. Is going to actually have been helping us, because he was pushing for, oh, we need to extend the trial because the charges are greater now because of the second murder. Wait a minute. Oh, they were saying that this person was killed before, they just only now found him, I guess. That Maya had killed this person too, the zealot, acolyte zealot guy, who we never even got to see. We saw him laying on the ground praying, and now he's dead. So they didn't even do any sprites or animations for him. We never spoke to him once. He's just a background character and then a victim. But yes, so prosecutor sodomy was pushing for increased charges, which I don't really get, because they keep saying the charge is death anyway. So what could be worse than being put to death? Like, you already would have gotten that. They could have just ended it there and executed both of us, and that's it. And Inga seemed very eager to do that. So why would they frivolously give us a second day to increase charges that are already a maximum penalty? And I don't get that. And then he also put his foot in his mouth, kind of, the prosecutor, by doing, well, he performed well in one sense, that he made us disprove the theory that, Phoenix's theory, that That's Our Ball was the Lady Kee'ra, because we proved he's the rebel, and then he said, oh, he couldn't be Lady Kee'ra at the same time. I thought he could be both, but Phoenix was pushing for that, but he made us prove that, and then put the hammer down. And at the end there, right before the guilty verdict, Phoenix had nothing, and I didn't have much of a theory either. Like, we just don't have the evidence. But Phoenix was at a complete loss. That was one of the shocking moments. Like, he just had nothing, and he just got declared guilty. So he ran out of ammo. So I'll give some credit to the prosecutor. Obviously the odds are stacked against Phoenix more so than usual, but he really did get beat there. Someone of Phoenix's caliber shouldn't have allowed that to happen. I guess he should have investigated the wife more thoroughly the previous day. Found out something more, or try to call Emma as your final lifeline. He should have argued that, like, we should hear from the scientific forensic investigator. And what else was there? Yeah, just the fact, this is what's going to come back to haunt the prosecutor. He, instead of just taking the charge that Maya killed this victim, the high priest, he pushed for Maya is actually Lady Kee'ra. Now there's two problems with that. One is that Lady Kee'ra is viewed kind of as a hero by a lot of people. Even Rafa was saying Lady Kee'ra is such an amazing person, blah blah blah, doing, delivering justice. So that almost makes Maya look good. But then the prosecutors seem just as eager to convict her. So they don't really care about it anymore when it's Maya in question. But otherwise she's a hero and everyone loves her. And then the flip side is, by saying that, you could easily now go back to the other Kee'ra killings, Lady Kee'ra killings, and find an alibi for Maya. Like, she was here with this person when Lady Kee'ra killed this one victim, a previous victim. It's been going on for 2 years, so you could easily show that she has an alibi for some of the murders that Lady Kee'ra has committed, so she couldn't be Lady Kee'ra. So now he opened up a whole can of worms he didn't need to do, just because he wanted her to be Lady Kee'ra in addition to the killer here. And then he said the Lady Kee'ra that the victim ran towards in the water was just a statue, which I want to take another look at that statue. And what else? Oh yeah, just the qualifier too. They said Lady Kee'ra has to have, at the beginning, must have some kind of military experience. Not just anybody could take out insurgents like this, blah blah blah. So that's why that was the only question hanging with the wife for me. The wife seems like she's Lady Kee'ra to me. At least that's my theory. But she doesn't overtly have that kind of experience. So how could she do it? But we'll maybe find that out today, that she does have some experience. So if Phoenix was a little better investigator, he should have found that out yesterday and used that. That's why we thought the paratrooper, ex-military guy was, maybe he still is, the double agent who's secretly killing his own kind. And then that's a consistent question with Maya, though. You should have raised Phoenix that... I would have raised those two things, and it could have saved the guilty verdict. One is, if you're claiming, which the prosecutor was claiming, that Maya is Lady Kee'ra, let's go back through every single past case on file, on record, and see if she doesn't have an alibi for any of them. And she obviously will, just by chance. At least one time, oh, she was with this person, she was with that person, she was training, she was doing this or that. She was nowhere near the scene of the crime. So you could do that, and then the second thing is you could point out the military experience. You would have to really present some compelling evidence that Maya could kill all these insurgents who are heavily armed, who are heavily trained, just very capable. And I'm sure they will bring that up. For example, if I accuse the wife, I'll accuse the wife and they'll say, there's no way she could have done that. But you can't say that with Maya. So that's going to be kind of annoying. I can see that coming from a mile away. They'll say the exact same thing. Or that, oh, she had an alibi herself for one of these crimes. So Phoenix just sat there and took the guilty verdict without even trying either of those things. I guess I didn't think of them at the time either. I was kind of speechless too. So it's easy in hindsight to say that. I try to pretend like I am Phoenix, like what would I have said? And you saw, if you were watching yesterday, just I was as speechless as he was. We were both kind of just like, we're screwed. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to go from here. Phoenix's theory was a bust. My theory, I didn't have enough evidence to bring the wife there. You should have just asked to hear the wife's testimony anyway. And the prosecutor just kept laying the smack down. So that was a good moment for Sodomy. He finally had an Edgeworth-like moment, although he's no Edgeworth, but it was a good moment. That was the first time I was impressed with him. Case 2, he didn't impress me at all. Throughout this case, I was kind of... So we're going after the wife today, at least that's my plan. So we'll have to look into this acolyte murder. So it was a good moment for the prosecutor. I'll give him +1 on that, because up to that point I was kind of clowning him. He just wasn't impressing me. So that's one good moment in his credit. Alright, so we can start talking to Rafa. She's very obsessed with following me around. That boy, Albie. I did save him from a false conviction. I mean, maybe you ought to look in the mirror. Upon Lady Kee'ra. Why are you all so obsessed with Lady Kee'ra? Shouldn't you like Maya then, if she really is Lady Kee'ra? Isn't that what they had to do anyway? Just pray for 48 hours? That's pretty basic. Everyone else was doing that anyway. I was supposed to do that before I passed out. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll show you the Von Karma technique today. In desperation. No, it seemed like Phoenix wanted you to come along. Phoenix is playing all sly. Certainly not cute. Let's see. He threw out some of his old evidence. So this talks about the weather. Lady Kee'ra-like figure that appeared 2 years ago remains a mystery. The thick white ice froze was cleared yesterday, the day of the murder. Police are asking to watch out for Death's Arbol. And it has clear skies, which means he could have parachuted, was kind of what we proved. Cause of death was blood loss from an abdominal wound inflicted by the Warabad dagger. So they talked about the dagger and they even showed us, but it didn't get added to our evidence for some reason, so hopefully we'll get that at some point. Mark on his face is about the clergy. I don't know what that's going to come into play for. Someone's going to be pretending not to be a khur'ainist and then they'll turn out to be one. I'm not sure what that would prove. This is just the body again. The shoveled out snow, the broken lantern. Nothing too crazy. Maya just said it was red at the beginning. We still haven't touched that point. It's gonna be like a fake victim kind of thing, like the guy who's killed really wasn't him, wasn't the high priest, and the high priest is somewhere else. I don't know. That's kind of a crazy theory. I don't know why I think that. It's just because if the markings are what people are looking at, somebody else could have put the markings on them, and I don't know. A warning, yeah, we've seen that. Don't do the right. He was planning to help the prisoner escape. And one thing I didn't like too was when Phoenix said the victim might be a rebel, everyone was like, no, that's blasphemous, you can't say that. And then later in the trial, the prosecutor said, oh yeah, he is a rebel. That's why the Dance Arbol was helping him escape, or was being helped by the victim. So they didn't mind it when he said it, but they minded it when I said it, like an hour before. I don't know what this is going to come into play for. And so we're left with this. So the only reason why this theory was not accepted is because he said the statue is Lady Kee'ra in the vision. So that K is supposedly a statue, not actually the killer. Because K could stand for killer or Kee'ra. And that spring isn't red in the diagram here when it should be. So no new profiles, I don't think. He really doesn't look 25 to me. But here's the victim. He's like part of the family. That's another important tidbit. They keep mentioning if you're a member of the family, you can access the Wright area, or you have access to something that only the family has. So maybe Zealot did something with that. Certainly the wife did something with that. Investigate the second murder. Now she's accused of that. Purification Wright serial murder. Maya is suspected in the serial killings. Victim was killed while praying to Lady Kee'ra. Yeah, we saw him praying there. Let's see. Anything different? Is Phoenix gonna say something new? Yeah. How come he always says new things about the same objects every day? The monk's prayers all the way over here. He's still being kind of his usual self. I wanted to see a little extreme measure. Back against the wall, you still won't do it, huh? Prayed with all my might, the Holy Mother will help me. Yeah, that's the spirit. Just pretend like you're Von Karma for one day, please. Just go aggressive, assertive, hardcore, smart. A little haggard, showing me how I feel on the inside. I think we already saw this. Why did it show up like it was new? Anything new we can present? I don't really think so. Maybe there'll be new dialogue, though sometimes there is. No. Figure it's worth trying, though. We're gonna be around Rafa a lot. So, may as well get it out of the way. So look at some of this dialogue about Lady Kee'ra. How positive and glowing it is. But now that it's Maya, you don't feel that way? Now you're gonna try to scapegoat her and make her look bad? He kept saying Lady Kee'ra is a hero, vigilante of justice. Okay. I just don't know how we're gonna implicate the wife yet. We got a long way to go. I don't have any theories directly. Somehow she slipped in there unnoticed. She used her post office powers to try and search for it or something, she said. I forgot. Okay. Everything's good here. Then let's move to... So where was the murder? I think it must be in the Plaza of Devotion, because that's where he was. He was praying there. I don't see why anything would change here, but sometimes it does. Look. He has different dialogue every day about the same things. Which is kind of cool, I guess, but... Guard keeps eyeballing me. So it shows up like it's new, even though he's saying the same thing. But to be fair, even if I was just an ordinary citizen, he probably wouldn't answer me. Compared to a princess, like, it's not the same thing. Okay, so nothing would change that way. We could go to the bazaar. He mentioned the sewer system pretty notably. I don't know why I think that's gonna change every time I move, but let's check out that sewer grate again. It's gonna be an escape route or something. A manhole. It's gonna be if I can skip the dialogue, that means I've already read it. She just wants food. Same dialogue. This is a poster. Is it up that same Spoon Punisher? We're not the only country with super... I think I read that too, but it wouldn't let me skip it. This is the walkway. We've been up and down that many times. 7,000 steps. So my main question is, what kind of military experience does his wife have that she'd be able to be Lady Kee'ra? And we can use that to Maya's benefit. That she obviously doesn't have any experience like that. You could very easily verify that. I almost missed that one, even though I've already read these. Yeah, souvenirs for Trucy. I wouldn't even stick around to get souvenirs. I'd just get the hell out of here as soon as this case is over, but it's probably going to be the opposite. Apollo and Trucy will probably join him, or I mean, Athena will probably join him here. Is it weird? I barely remember Athena even being in the second case. It felt like it was all Apollo. I know she was there, I just don't remember her much. She did her psychology thing on the twins, the bunny twins. Okay, same thing, she's hungry. It does kind of trigger me that the icon changes. And I have to read the same thing I've already read again to get rid of it. Alright. So I'm going to do Positive Devotion last because that's going to be the new site. So nothing's really changed here. Okay, broken lantern again. What do you have? Something new? Hard to make out the details from this angle. I'll take a closer. Don't say that. So that's the parachute that was used. I thought it was on the ground, like in the snow. It is kind of impressive, though. Wouldn't exactly call him crazy, but he's one of a kind. I mean, if he's so bad, why didn't you just arrest him as soon as you found out it was him? You let him sit there on the stand for 5 minutes and then just escape. What a clown show. Okay, nothing new here. Now, hang on a second. He said... Wait, what? It's a statue of a bird. He specifically said that this statue was what was seen in the vision as Lady Kee'ra. This is not a statue of Lady Kee'ra. This is a statue of a bird. Am I missing something? What? I knew something was off about that claim. He said this was... How did he get away with that claim? Is he saying the costume was on the bird for some reason? Can I even go back that far? That was the most absurd thing ever, that means. How can you say that? It was such a weak argument. He said the statue is what he saw, so there was no other person here. And the court just accepted it. But the statue is a goddamn bird. Whatever, we've seen worse, I suppose. That is really weak, though. Am I missing something? I'll have to maybe rewatch that part of my court thing. Nothing really new or different here, I wouldn't think. I just want to be thorough. What was this again? This is where he hit his head? I guess it doesn't have to be, but... Okay, don't fall off the cliff, dude. I like how it's outdoors, though. That's kind of an interesting crime scene. I thought it would be like inside an enclosed area. It's enclosed by a curtain, but that didn't stop an intruder from coming in. Apparently 2 of them. So what other way could she have gotten in here? Something to do with the shoveled out snow, maybe? Alright, let's get out of here. Do the high priest's house. Let's harass the wife. Plant some evidence in her house. Sorry to bother you again. I'm not sorry at all. Don't be nice. Be forceful, Phoenix. Assertive. Your knife is hanging over your head. Oh, she's perceptive. I'm absolutely... You read my mind. See, that's the politically correct thing to say, Phoenix. You should say it like that. But absolutely we're gonna pin her down. Maybe on those spikes right there. There's the fact that Lady Kee'ra didn't attack Mrs. Inmee. That probably means she isn't a rebel. I didn't think of it like that, but maybe she just doesn't know whether she is or not. Pray, zealot, and you better start talking. Oh, yeah? She's trying not to seem too evil. My faith, my belief, kind of like your name, right? Beh'leeb. That shouldn't be so crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm already guilty. Like, that ship has sailed. So now I've got nothing to lose. See, she's shaken by my resolve. Yeah, exactly. Phoenix is his old self. I expected something more today. He's not appreciating the gravity of the situation right now. Yeah, that's fair. Faith respects faith, but shouldn't she be upset that you revealed him as a rebel? I guess the prosecutor did that more so than I did. Well, we're not lying about our faith, but you should think we're lying about the outcome. Like our faith isn't justified. It's 8 generations. Well, that's Apollo. Athena and Apollo. What about Trucy too, descendants? I guess technically not because she's adopted or whatever. It's kind of weird. Alright. Because the age thing doesn't match up. How old is Trucy compared to Phoenix? I don't even remember. So there's a lot of the same stuff again. Everything just resets, which is kind of annoying. Read this already. Just kind of skimming it though, maybe it'll help me, but I don't really have a strong theory as to how she did it. Mostly because I don't know how she'd be capable of being Lady Kee'ra. Must be somebody important, it's the queen, blah blah blah. I don't get the mother-father part. Something's weird about Inga. Is that a new picture? That wasn't there yesterday. So that's her holding the Steel Samurai thing, happily. That's her on the left. So that's the first time we've really seen anything of him besides him laying on the ground. Are there any clues in this maybe that we would see? There's the orb behind, there's another picture. Nothing seems out of place. This will be like just proving that she had that object before the murder kind of thing. I don't know why it would matter that she has the object. What's on her hand? Believe in me's hand. What is that thing? It's like a little... Is it like a watch? See that little black thing and it's attached to something? Day before the Wright. Family photo. Picture of mine and the family during the Feast of Blessings before the Wright. Final family photo. No good, Maya Fey has some nerve. I mean, what's her motive? Yeah, kill them for no reason. Or a justifiable reason because they're rebels if she's Lady Kee'ra, so then you should be happy with her. She's helping taking out the trash rebels that you keep complaining about. It's not really proof of that, but... It doesn't matter, that's all subjective. Phoenix is so... Look at this dialogue. This is... I thought he would impress me today. This is Phoenix when he's been convicted of the DC Act, when his client's been convicted, and he basically is about to be executed along with her. This is Maya, who's sisters with Mia, who goes all the way back. She gave you her law office. You respect her so much, and this is the kind of attitude you're taking. Like, I'll prove Maya's fine. Don't... I really thought he'd be different today. I wanted him to be. This is your excuse. This is like an episode in some sort of a TV show where the hero who's normally one way, like he's very calm or stoic, goes the opposite extreme because of some circumstance. He loses his memory or something crazy happens and then he's shocked back to his normal self by the end. It should have been like that. Phoenix should have gone crazy today, done something extreme, and then realized this isn't the way Maya would want me to do it, and then stop, kind of like that. But for him to just go into it so normal, so casual, I'm not really buying it. Now I checkers, I don't know how this is going to come into play. This might not even matter. Wish I could play it though as like a mini game. Let's play it with cute little Rafa. I didn't think she'd be following me around this much though. This is just all one thing to look at. Same thing, 3 holes in it. appears you are quite fond of rummaging through the garbage. This is new. Some other important piece of evidence. So nobody takes out the trash? Like, this was here yesterday. It's worth looking, though. If there was, I would seem like a genius. So old TV, blah blah blah, picture, Steel Samurai. I think that's it. What was the explanation for this? Oh, it's like some training device, or it's like walking on fire. You gotta temper your nerves in training. There's gotta be something off about this picture. Like what? Maybe the way he's dressed, he looks different. You're gonna have to present something here. What is that on her arm? I can't see what it is. Let me present some stuff to her. Obviously, he wanted me to present the photo. Let's just do everything. Just don't want to miss any flavor kind of dialogue, too. Yeah. Get over it. You're the one who did it. I have no doubt. Just like I believe in Maya's innocence, I believe in your guilt. Believe being the key word, almost like it's your name or something. I hate these name puns, they're so bad. Although that's our ball, I don't really understand that one. That's our ball would be the only pun, but what does that have to do with anything? Though she'll say something about the picture for sure. It's a strap Maya's received. Why did she react like that? So shocked. Do you know anything about it? So now she'll say some lie like, oh, she got it the day before the murder, but she had it like for longer or something. I'm not sure. It's gonna be some inconsistency. It's for the Plume Punisher action hero. Yeah, we know you like this show. Royal Priestess is more familiar with the matter than I. That's all you had to say. It's gonna be important somehow. But I like that being a background thing. Like, it's not the main focus where we have to worry about the show like the Steel Samurai. Look how blurry that picture is in the top. That's such an ugly... Look at that resolution. There's more days in this case than there are pixels in that picture. Look at that. Can I ask you about this photo? It's taken... I like how she's holding that. That's kind of cute. She's so proud of it. It's taken during the Feast of Blessings the day before the rite was held. I don't know why I feel so different about Maya in this game. She seems too old. It just doesn't feel right. Like, she's 28. Phoenix is what, like 8 years older? So like 36. They could make a couple at this point. I mean, it's only 8 years difference. Doesn't seem as awkward as being 24 versus 16. At this age, it kind of all blends together. Although that means Emma's available too. She's like 1 year younger, right? I would prefer Emma actually over that. Because Maya's more of a friend than that, but I doubt either one is ever gonna happen. It's taken during the Feast of Blessings. Like a Thanksgiving dinner type of thing. What is that on her hand? I still can't. Tell me a bit more about it. Let me do that again and see. It gives you a close-up, but I still couldn't see it. Oh, it's like a Steel Samurai armband type of thing? I don't know. She's not wearing it now, whatever it is. It's like a watch? I have no clue. So tell us about Prey Zealot. About 2 years ago, while my husband was at a spiritual retreat in the mountains, he came across him collapsed on the ground. He was always one to help others in need. Now, what about him being a rebel? Did you not pay attention to the trial? Is that not something you want to talk about? Shouldn't you be mad at me for bringing it up? And the time that Lady Kee'ra appeared too. But there's no way that Zealot guy is Lady Kee'ra. That's impossible. Born in a poor village, had nowhere to call home. He felt pity, took him as his disciple. He was like a member of our family. That's a key phrase. Might be something I could learn about him lying around here. Like his picture that I've tried to examine like 40 times so far. Apparently there's not anything. Aside from that one photo we saw. Now it reset again? What is the game doing? Why is it new? Taken before. Any of them could have possibly imagined what was to come. I mean, I guess she could because she had it all planned out. But there's no way anyone could have planned for the dad's R-ball aspect. That kind of threw everything for a loop. Always something unexpected that messes up the criminal's plans in these crimes. Although sometimes it helps them too, like the ringmaster wearing the cape in Turnabout Big Top. If he hadn't done that, Acro would have been screwed. Because then Mo would have just seen the bus floating up and he would have known it's the bus. But the cape happened to be on the ringmaster, it happened to snag, and he happened to get lucky. So, let's see. In this case, it's more like the opposite. I think this Daz Arwal guy really screwed your plan. If it wasn't for him, you might not have been caught. The day before. And it's not like he did it on purpose. This photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings. Tell us a bit more about the feast. Yeah. Wait, didn't I just do this? No. It's forbidden to eat during the days of the rite. So the day before it's performed, we eat yingil, a herb known to strengthen the body and mind. What is that on top? Like cheese? You love yingil-based dishes I make, didn't you, dear? Yingil. I heard you can go 3 days without sleeping after eating some. You can go 3 days without sleeping anyway. You don't need... What? Just drink some coffee. Many foreigners don't care for it because of its strong smell. That might come into play, somehow. These dishes can only be eaten the day before... Wait, what? But then how come you said you loved my yingil-based dishes I make, but you only had them like once a year then? Before the rite? It's not like you can eat them freely. Are you admitting to sneaking him some yingil dishes when you're not meant to be? And only between noon and 3. That's oddly specific custom. So when was the rite? Does it say what time? Or the picture doesn't have like a timestamp. Is there something that says... I guess it was at 3 a.m. so that has nothing to do with it yet, but we'll figure it out later. Yeah. Because the smell is too strong. Ensure the smell is gone by the time Lady Kee'ra is welcome the next day. Okay. The evening before the murder, an odor was all over town. It's like a cross between garlic and mint. So maybe that conflicts with the incense smell? Like, the victim smelled incense from the costume, but maybe he's not supposed to be able to because the smell is everywhere? That might be a stretch. Prey went over to the plaza to begin his supplication. I never thought that would be the last time I would see him. Yeah, let's get testimony on Maya's whereabouts. You could give her an alibi, but you won't do that, will you, bitch? She went to the temple to prepare for the rite. But wait a second. I feel like I can disprove this right now. We saw Zealot all day yesterday praying, and he was still alive. And Maya was in jail. So how the hell did she kill him? Wait, what? He was alive yesterday, praying with everyone outside the site. And we kept, while we were investigating, we saw him. So how could Maya have broken out, killed him, and then come back to court or the cell? The only way is if she had killed him before, but he... Huh? So what exactly does it say? Acolyte Zealot went out to pray. I mean, we saw him there multiple times. According to the newspaper, on the day before the riot, the plaza was so cold the whole place had iced over. He always prayed a lot, far more than anyone I know. He was a devout young man whose faith was twice as strong as others. Kinda intimidating. Thought I'd have made some progress by now, but I haven't come across any particularly insightful information even here. It's all just kinda extra stuff we'll worry about later. I'm very confused by that aspect. We saw him praying there the whole time, so he was still alive. I want to present that statement to you. You don't get to decide that. We haven't even looked at the crime scene. What exactly did she say? His faith was strong, blah blah blah. He never got up from there, and Maya was already in custody. So when exactly did he die? I'm so confused. Let's read the statement. Statement about the Feast of Blessings that was held the day before the rite. Family photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings, where it's customary to partake in dishes made with gingli. They are only prepared during the feast, but starts at noon, ends at 3 on the same day. Okay. What do you think about your own statement? Okay, that's all we're gonna get out of her for now. We still can't look at the picture of Zealot, can we? We've tried so many times. It's kind of annoying. What does he say even? Nothing here? Yeah, only the victim. Couldn't be any clues in the picture of the victim, of course. So we've seen everything there is to see. So the only way this would make sense is if he was dead the whole time while he was praying. So like when she left, wasn't she found at the rite still? So she did the rite, killed the first victim, then somehow magically came out here, killed him, then went back up there, got arrested, and nobody noticed this guy was dead until later. Whatever. Police already finished. I want to see Emma at least. But how and when? We saw him the whole time. Body outline and flowers. Something different about the prayer flag. There's a pink thing there. Utterly devoted to his training. For killing rebels, because apparently she's Lady Kee'ra. Is that so bad? Well, let's get to court. Gathering what? Air and dust? Oh, she's getting really pissed. Dirt and dust for the trial. He's doing his best, but I don't like his attitude today. Yeah, we needed your help, dude. You should have testified. You would have saved us. Who your own prosecutor vouches for. Everyone's scared of her except for Phoenix. Why didn't you testify? It is your fault. You should have Testify. Yeah, focus. That makes no sense that she was here yesterday and she was part of that investigation too, but she didn't testify or come to court or do anything. Yeah, literally. Please testify tomorrow. I need you. Yeah, you are a true professional. I give you that. Seems too happy for somebody who's gonna get killed in 24 hours. Not Emma, I mean me, but... Sing us a sad song. Will be remembered as the best lawyer there ever was. What do you got? The incident. Let's present some stuff. Congrats, blah blah blah. Same glasses as before. I mean, probably a bigger size, but I don't know why she looks so much bigger than Emma. Like she got fatter because she's always eating snackoos. She looks much older than Maya, like much older. But she could be 35, 36, like same age as Phoenix. But she's younger than Maya by 1 year, apparently. I thought they were the same age actually, but maybe just a difference of birthdays. Could be the same year, but do they ever say when any of these characters' birthdays are? I feel like they don't. Like when's Maya's birthday? I guess the closest you could get is like between two cases, you'll see that her age changes. So like she'll go from 16 to 17 or 17 to 18 between like May and April, May and July or something. So that's the only way you would know. Let's examine. Back to the steps again. You'd think I would witness a... Wait, what did she say? We've read it before, but what was that first line? Lord being allowed to pass through the sacred gate. It's only fair, I have to be able to investigate too. So what's the new one? Something purple to commemorate the dead. Rest in peace. Dearest wishes of our subjects are written on these prayer flags. Reading the prayers of others is considered rude, but as you must know, it says, at the usual spot, bring rub, the key too. It's one of the more direct and practical prayers I have ever seen. Because it's probably a message to somebody. At the usual spot, bring rub and the key to... What key, I wonder? It must be... But why would it be placed here now? Oh, maybe somebody just thought it was a prayer flag and didn't read it? So they put it here without thinking? Yeah, it's clearly not. But who would have put it up there and why now? You'd think whoever wrote it would want to hide it. At the usual spot, bring food and the key. Okay. This is just the rug itself. Killed in a prayer pose with his head bent over like that. The last thing he saw must have been the rug. But how did nobody notice he was dead? May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon his departed soul. Strange that there are no bloodstains, and that nobody noticed, and that Maya was incarcerated while he was killed. It's a little bit strange. Blood froze. Dude, ask Emma. That's not how blood works. That's not... Imagine it's cold enough for your blood to freeze. That's not... No, it doesn't do that. Well, then he would die from that. He wouldn't need to be stabbed. That little yellow thing. Are these two separate icons? Okay, more flags. Nothing new here. Gate itself is good. These flowers were left here in memory of Zealot. What are they called? All these names are hard to remember. Gingli is the food they were talking about. Namanda, and they are given to express sorrow when a life is lost. Yeah, that's a good point. Namanda flower, added to the court record. Pay tribute to the departed, heartfelt sympathy. Do we know who put them there? Just any random person? Not sure how that's going to be relevant, but what's this yellow thing? It looks important, but it's not letting me. It just stands out so much. Bent over in prayer. No trace of blood on the ground. Oh, was it his blood in the fountain? That's why it was red? So wait. So he was already dead before the ritual, which would be the only way Maya could be responsible anyway. So now they'll say the fountain was red and it was Zealot's blood, and somehow his body was brought down here and nobody knew that he was dead in that pose. So they put him here and he was already dead. That's the only... And since he's immobile and he's just praying, I guess. So a little bleeding could be a single stab to a vital point. It wouldn't have been very difficult. No, he wasn't here. How could he be killed here and nobody would notice? I guess because they were all intensely engaged in prayer. But yeah, that's my theory. He was killed first. His body, or his blood, was in the fountain. Then his body was placed here somehow. And nobody noticed that he was doing anything other than praying. And at some point they noticed, once the prayer was over, that he was dead. At the perfectly opportune time. That bailiff really saved me. He's the MVP. The whole game. If it wasn't for him, it was literally over. I'm dead. Start with an overview of what happened. Pray Zealots. He was the high priest's disciple. His body was discovered around noon today, but discovered in the same spot it was in for the last 2 days, right after the rite wrapped up. So wouldn't you assume Maya couldn't have done it because she was not here? Praying here since the day before the rite even started, so he was already dead. What's that on his neck? Is that blood or it's a tattoo? Wait. So he wasn't praying with that in his back. So after he was already dead, they stabbed him again with the knife? That couldn't have been what killed him. I just don't get how Maya's being implicated here. Yeah, what is it? Some kind of fruit? Peach. Everyone started leaving when the praying was finally done. The victim remained, and when they went over to check on him, they discovered he was dead. Why wouldn't you just assume he died from being in that position for too long? Because he started early and ended late. Estimated time of death is on May 9th, sometime between the start of the rite and the discovery of the high priest's body. So before, during the rite. But why is the dagger so in him then? It wasn't in him what? Something's weird about this. He was killed before the rite. His body was placed there. Nobody noticed the dagger in his bag, or it wasn't there. So did they put it back in his bag after the rite? Like, who took this picture and when? I don't get it. It couldn't have been just now when they moved his body. Why would the dagger be in there? And how would it get there? He was killed days ago. And this picture can't be from days ago because he stayed there the whole time. Nobody noticed. And it can't be from now because somebody would have to put the dagger back in. At the very least, the person who put the dagger back in couldn't have been Maya because she was in court. I'm so confused by this. This is getting a little messy, convoluted. Prosecution believed Maya came down the stairs after killing the high priest, and then stabbed Zealot with the same dagger. But then what happened? Like, so she left the dagger in there, but the police couldn't find the dagger? It was just sticking out of him while he was praying and nobody saw it? What is this? So, I'm so... Apparently died instantly from the dagger that was left thrust into his upper back. That picture is really weird. Spinal cord injury from being stabbed in the upper back. Ugh. Kind of a gruesome spot. Oh god, this is what's wrong with your country. Third world country, am I right? So they couldn't find the knife because it was in his bag the whole time. So just nobody looked at him that whole time, even though we saw him multiple times. Spinal cord injury from being stabbed in the upper back by a bladed weapon. Between 4 and 5 a.m. Wait. Huh? Wait, but she just said it was May 9th. What's going on? Estimated time of death is May 9th. I guess because the ritual went overnight. So it would have been between then and the end of the rite. Wait, when did the other guy die? Between 2 and 3. So she said it was before, but this implies it would be after. So, okay. Time of death, May 10th, between 4 and 5. And just looking at what she said again. So it's after the other guy died? Or did she say it? Then she clearly says it was earlier. Let me try to find that. Didn't she just say like something Emma said? He had been praying since the rite started. This is a picture. He discovered he was dead. Estimated time of death is May 9th between the start of the rite and the discovery of the high priest's body. So, he died before the high priest's body was discovered. And yet, it says here, he died after 4 and 5 versus 2 and 3. So he died after the high priest, but before his body was found? Well, either way, I'll keep this in mind, but basically, I'm supposing that Zealot died first, his blood was in the fountain, and then the original victim, the high priest, died second. Who is already dead. I want to know. Well, ask Emma, she's the expert. Princess of the Spirit Medium Kingdom is interested in forensic science. She's genuinely happy about that. You just asked about it. Someday be queen, I should know all the tricks. Why is it silly, dude? It's not even a belief. Yeah, exactly. She's the one who wanted you here. That's nothing much. Yeah, well, you've been wrong how many times in a row here? Doesn't have an adorable bone. Look at that adorable face you're making while saying that. You're just asking that because you're curious too, Phoenix. There are many ways to estimate the time of death. Oh, is this going to be one of those investigations to the body was frozen so the time of death is staggered thing? That was the whole crux of Simon Keyes and Dane Gustavia. The Dane Gustavia special. The most well-known method, change in body temperature. But it's not like it was in a freezer or something. Interesting. Or a block of ice. Body temperature drops at a steady rate from the moment a person dies. But the reason why that doesn't work is because they said it was freezing outside. So much so that even the blood could have frozen. So he was cold anyway. Present your forehead now. Feel just a little over 95 in this kind of weather. Yeah, well, don't joke about that. I just got sentenced to it. Yeah, see, I even predicted that. My title, Dead Lawyer Walking, Dead Attorney Walking. I knew somebody was going to say that. Were there any witnesses with so many people? You'd think somebody would have seen something. So where is she saying that he was supposedly killed at? They cooled the bodies? Yeah. You think so? We haven't found a single witness. That's a good thing for us. So then how can you say Maya did it? Just circumstantial evidence. Everyone was bent over, utterly devoted to prayer naturally. So, how did Phoenix not notice this when I examined him yesterday? He was already dead. I guess it wasn't obvious. You'd think someone would, yeah, including yourself. Thought so, but with the monk's scarf, no one could. Oh, is that why? So the dagger was there the whole time, but the picture you took off. Okay, that makes sense. It's still kind of protruding out, but he was wearing something over that, is what she's saying. So he was really there the whole time. So they took off his scarf, stabbed him, and then put it back on, or like his other cloak. Oh, the scarf was over it. Okay, I get it. Why is he channeling karma? Well, he's not, but if it was me, that was how I started this show. By saying, like, I wish he would behave more like that because he's already been declared guilty, his client's been guilty. So I would say, if ever Phoenix was going to do something like that, questionable or forging evidence or at least being more assertive, it would be now, but he's been pretty much normal. You'd think it'd at least cross his mind, like, I'm already going to be sentenced to death because the DC Act, Maya's already guilty. So why not do something a little questionable, but he's always got to be goody two-shoes Phoenix. Everyone was so absorbed. So that was my mindset. Obviously, he's not like that, though. I can't believe this. What you choose to believe is your choice. He just believes in Maya. That's all he said. I believe in my client, even though I already failed to defend them one day. There were no witnesses. But why is that a bad thing? That's a good thing. One piece of irrefutable evidence, a dagger. If only we had that yesterday. It's not going to be the murder weapon, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. She didn't have anything to say about this, did she? Or no, I didn't try it yet. Oh, like Christoph Gavin. Yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot about him altogether. Based on the estimated time of death, we believe he was killed during the Wright itself. But before, or no, after, stabbed in the upper back and died instantly. There were so many people here. How could no one have noticed? But they were all praying too. Or was he killed first and then brought here? No, because he was here the whole time. I don't think I presented everything to her yet. I can't remember. This is just the same thing, isn't it? Okay. Wait, I thought she was gonna give me luminol and then she never did. She like talked about it the first day. And then she got distracted or something. Just try everything once, I suppose. They say her fingerprints were on the knife, even though she said she never touched it. But it was part of the ritual anyway, so even if she was doing the right thing, she could have touched it just for the sake of that. Does that costume like have gloves? I guess we don't have a picture of Lady Kee'ra. We only saw what she supposedly looks like in the, what do you call it? In the vision, the insights. I guess they gotta wait. Get that way from time to time, blah blah blah. Okay, we've heard all that. She must have something new to say about something. Wait, was that different? No, it's just the same thing. Tell us about the weather thing. Like what the ice and the snow and why was the snow shoveled out? She doesn't know anything. Divination seance, yeah. I'm just so shocked she didn't testify the first day. That's what could have saved our whole case. But somehow they kept her out of court and got a verdict without any scientific or detective testimony. Can you tell us about the murder weapon? Use the warband dagger, the legendary weapon of Lady Kee'ra. It's discovered impaled in the victim's upper back, and it was there the whole time. Hughes' fingerprints were on the dagger. Yes, they were. But Maya specifically said she didn't touch it. A dagger modeled after a warband, said to have been used by Lady Kee'ra. So it's not a replica, it's the actual same one. Such an irrefutable piece of evidence, there is no questioning you. Didn't you say that yesterday? And what's her motive for the other one too? Or the high priest? What do the police think about this matter? Why are you speaking for the police, Emma? I had no reason to kill Acolyte Zealot. So you say, but let us hear what the police think about this matter. So you're deferring to Emma? They believe that Maya is Lady Kee'ra figure who has been battling the rebels, so she's a hero. And since Mr. Zealot was the disciple of the High Priest who turned out to be a rebel, so you're really smearing all the victims. He too was likely a rebel. So you required me to try and prove that the High Priest was a rebel, but you're just asserting that the disciple's a rebel without any... And you're kind of justifying the killings then. You're saying that, oh, they're rebels, so they deserve to be killed. I don't know. I agree on a personal level, but the police are just going with what should I... But they didn't really prove that she is. Why don't you go back and check all the other killings? The Lady Kee'ra is... yeah. It's just the ending part. You were good up until the ending. And then we just had nothing to say. You just kind of sat there. Message on the prayer flag seems weird. I'm not sure it's... Well, it's asking for something. It's asking for food. Bring food and the key. So it's something that maybe the victim himself wrote? Or one of the family members? We have paid a visit to all of the people and places connected to the case. It's about time you prepared yourself for the inevitable, for the Twilight Realm. Does it look like you have any hope of winning? We gotta check on that wife again. What more can we look at? Otherwise, I will report you to Sodomy, who is your biggest fan. Seems like she doesn't have the authority she thinks she does. She was even kicked out of court by the judge in the first case. Time to give up? No, I'm Phoenix Wright. I never give up, right? God damn it. Why isn't he more aggressive? There's still someone I need to talk to. The wife, right? Please be the wife. Or are we just gonna talk to Mai again? Any ideas? Even though you're ready to give up. Oh, that's true. I'm gonna make her suffer like crazy by the time this is over. Not in the way that you mean. Is she gonna bring that picture to court? Probably. That's like half her animations are using her dead husband's picture. If you wish to continue, I mean, it's technically the prosecutor who wanted to continue it because he said, oh, we'll increase the charges. He could have just ended it right there if he wanted to. Honestly, I don't know where else I would go to investigate. I just want to see more of her house. We'll go to the bazaar, talk to Albie maybe. Might take a break, play some chess, and then I'll finish the trial day, but I wanted to get to the trial. What more do you have in store, Phoenix? Barely treading water. Don't admit that out loud. For a swim when they're troubled. Only Dame and Gant, I suppose. If so, seek the rivers on the edge of town, there we'll find the water. Don't you think I would escape? Yeah, I'll paddle away to freedom. Yeah, even the Freedom Express thing. You have anything new to say about the evidence? The dagger. That is a sacred dagger. In using it for murder, the vile criminal will be punished. Isn't that what it's meant for, though? Killing enemies of the... Like, isn't that what she really did in history? Killing rebels and enemies of the country? Oh, we don't know that at all. That we really don't know. At least it was sticking out of this guy's back. The second murder victim. I guess she knows everyone, kind of. You knew of him. I knew that he had been living under the care of Abbot Inmi at his home, but nothing else. Like how they're letting me say at the temple. Okay, dude, you filthy dog. He's not even being subtle. That's not cool. Second murder victim, same thing. He was so young though. How old was the first victim? 42, right? Yeah. It's like half his age exactly. This music is too happy. It's like, dude. This whole day has not felt as serious as it should have been. Phoenix hasn't been serious. Even she hasn't been too aggressive as she normally is. Well, she's been her normal self, not especially aggressive. When did I last present stuff to her? Surely I had everything up to here at the beginning. Just the stuff from the house is new. So I think we're done here. That yellow thing on the ground still bothers me, but it won't let me look at it. It's just leaving me like, go wherever you want. Present to her something new or... Whoops. The dagger? Do you recognize this? But she normally plays kee'ra in the ritual anyway, so she probably would. He has joined my husband in the Twilight Realm. So full of life, before he went out to the plaza. Why are you saying it that specifically? As soon as he went there... That's an odd phrasing. He was so full of life before he went out to the plaza. I don't know what would have become of me if my husband were not here by my side. Well, he's not here by your side. Why are you asking her now? You could have asked her before. He's a kindly young man, let's leave it at that. Which means you probably didn't know him that well. Even she said I only know of him. That's a weird segue into asking her. Namada flower. I'm just curious what Phoenix has up his sleeve. Like, what do you really got going? He's like his usual clumsy old self, just going through the motions. Let's just go to every location, bumble around a bit more. I'm kind of disappointed. You lost the trial, and you come out with this kind of lackadaisical effort. I don't even know what to do either. I guess I'm role-playing Phoenix. I'm clueless. What do you got, dude? You gotta talk to Maya? Let's go to temple first. Let's talk to Albie, but he's not even here. He's normally at the temple. It's gotta be Maya. Save us, Mia. We haven't seen Mia channel at all. Oh, she's not allowed to. I keep forgetting. Or at least she thinks she shouldn't because it'll show up the queen or whatever. This might be a short day of investigations. I don't really know what to do. Yeah, this is the first time you've failed. It always happens to you, doesn't it? Well, that was my choice. Keep your voice down. Don't call it stupid law. Now you'll be convicted of some kind of speech crime. Well, I got nothing to lose now. That's a stupid time to withdraw. I shouldn't have done it in the first place. They've never said that. You might not believe me, but I'm going to pull off a win somehow. It's not like there's anything else to do. Even if I say, oh, I'm going to lose tomorrow, like you've already lost. I don't see what the higher sentence is going to do. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the penalties, but they said repeatedly I'm going to the Twilight Realm, which means I'm going to be executed for the first day. So what's the worst that can happen the second day? Like, I'll be executed and they'll go and execute Apollo and Athena too or something? Don't worry, maybe this extra day is a blessing from the Holy Mother. I mean, it is very lucky. You were out of options. You had nothing, dude. You just stood there and took it. Let's use it to our advantage. We'll turn this trial inside down and upside down. So what do we got to look at today? Rafa seems pretty shocked by my belief. She's wondering what will break first, my spirit or my body, as somebody once said. Will I be executed first and still be believing in my client to the very end like I always do? Could have done it today if you really wanted. Oh, this is like our last moment's talk. Same old Phoenix. They were. You should be worried about yourself. Neophyte practitioners. She just can't get over that. Why do you look so happy? Huh. Further resistance shall come to naught. I just don't see why I would. Stubborn as ever. What did you say? Will be commuted? Wait, what? Perhaps your sentence will be commuted. Why do you always have to be like that? Simply showing mercy. Already failed, though. Just defending his client no matter what till the very end. And not even breaking any laws while doing it. There is no place for lawyers. That's exactly the place for them. Yeah, well, if you were a little better, yeah. Exactly. Throw it right back at her, kind of like you did with Gumshoe. Like, if you were right in your investigation, then Edgeworth and Von Karma wouldn't have to forge evidence or be compelled to, or lose their perfect record. So you should blame the detectives for doing a sloppy investigation. And he had the same reaction, because he knows you're right. She's good at throwing things back at you. Yeah, even if your insight is correct, it doesn't mean your interpretation of it is right. We didn't throw out the whole thing, just the parts that were wrong with what you were saying. Like, what if they just taped her mouth shut and said, don't say anything, just let us watch the insights and, decide for ourselves what they mean. That's what you should do next case. Just tape her damn mouth shut while she does it. What is your true duty? Do the victim souls or the Holy Mother herself wish you to judge people in error? Oh, she's really eviscerating her now. Well, you've let her down. She gonna storm off? Maya's being really aggressive now. I like that. No, keep doing it. Phoenix should be like that, too. Yeah, for having a spine when I don't. Can't you take some responsibility? I like that animation, the way she does that. Very royal posture. Just deserts as the scorn of our kingdom is heaped upon you, even though you were calling me a hero, me being Maya now, yesterday, because you love Lady Kee'ra. She may say these terrible things, it's just the way she was raised. She's old enough to think for herself now. Is he gonna reset these again? Dude, it just does it to trigger me. Why does it do that every time I come here? And then it says the same thing. And it even lets me skip. Jingle, jingle, blah, blah, blah. So weird how it does that. Yeah, I have nowhere else to go and nobody else to see right now, so... I don't know why I keep going back to the beginning. Let's just present our new... Like the knife. Why are your fingerprints on the knife, Maya, even though you said you never touched it? It's like the Edgeworth gun, fingerprints being on the gun. I still think that's what it was meant for. It was meant for killing people who defy the kingdom, wasn't it? Isn't that what the whole myth of Lady Kee'ra was? And wait, isn't it? Did they ever say what the murder weapon was when Lady Kee'ra normally does her killings? I can't believe the sacred dagger was used in a murder. Isn't that what she normally does, the vigilante? Doesn't she normally kill people with a dagger? Maybe not the same official one, but like a phony imitation one. So normally you're cheering her on for doing that. How do you explain that? During the rehearsals, that's why. But you said before you never touched it. How do you know you're not lying? You did kind of lie, actually. She said in court she never touched it. And now she's saying, oh, she touched it in rehearsal. So I'm kind of against you on that one. I hate when they change their stories. Very bad name puns. That was the greatest crime. But even if she did, wouldn't she be proud of it? Say like, I killed them because they're rebels who defied your kingdom. You should thank me. So what this case proves true and final is that no matter what you do to Phoenix, you could literally threaten to kill him. He's still not going to do anything wrong. He's just too good of a person. And I guess we kind of saw that in Justice for All. Even in when the killer was kidnapping Maya and threatening him to get Angar off, he still didn't want to, and he was trying his best to get him declared guilty and save Maya at the same time. We don't have Edgeworth helping us this time, so we lost. How can we make her understand like that? In case one, understanding. Is that really all we got to investigate? I'm pretty confused about that. We gotta find something in her house. The victim's house. Gotta find some secret sign that she's been part of the military, so that she has the experience and know-how to tell us about the feast. To be the real Lady Kee'ra, which, by the way, Maya clearly does not have. During the Feast of Blessings, did you take the picture with a calculator? Look at that resolution. Your khur'ain's technology is pretty far behind, even by your own admission. She's surprised by forensic science, that's Rafa, and they were saying like, oh, we do have computers, but I've never seen one. Phoenix said he had never seen any so far. Unthinkable, I doubt that. Plotting your murderous rampage at the time. Thinking nothing of the sort, especially not during the meal. Thinking he was so strong I couldn't think of anything else. They keep beating that like a dead horse. So that's going to be important. How could you smell the incense with that? Something like that. There's only one of them in the entire world. I can't believe that. Why would there only be one? Yeah, she wants it. We'll give it to you if you let us off the hook. Okay, great minds think alike. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing that I'm thinking like Maya right now. She had to think about it for a very long minute there. Do you know anything about the warning? But if you were, it would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Good is guilty. She likes to use that word, floundering. Last crack of His Majesty's gavel. Nincompoop. That's a 14-year-old word if I've ever heard one. Phoenix is kind of pissing me off today. Guess we just have to come up with the theory in trial as we go. We have nothing in our mind right now. He doesn't even know it's the wife yet. He hasn't shown any suspicion towards her. In fact, Rafa suggested that I might accuse her before Phoenix even did. And I know he might not want to say it out loud, but he hasn't even thought about it. Could you try to remember what happened one more time? I've been trying as hard as I can, but I can't remember anything from the middle of the right onward. Well, at first you said you couldn't remember anything. Now you're saying it's from the middle. Felt sleepy, so you got drugged? By what exactly? Well, I guess if you really can't remember, though, you can't say that for sure. That wouldn't really be admissible testimony. Because then you'd have to describe exactly what you did the whole time. What were you doing? Well, did you dress up as her during the rite? Were you close to the victim, the second victim? This is pretty unique in the series too, in the sense that there's multiple victims in the same case. Like, does that happen often? There were 2 defendants in the same case, like Maya and Phoenix and Turnabout sisters. But as far as multiple victims, let's think. Turnabout Samurai, there was only the background plot. I'm not counting it if it's like a old incident that we bring back up. This is the same current present time incident. So I feel like there has been one, but I can't remember. Oh, the Callisto U. Callisto U did that. And that might have been a past case, but we did the whole thing as if it was present time with Miles. Is this the only other one besides the Callisto U case? It does take a bit of a criminal mastermind to pull it off. And she was so brilliant, in fact, she made it look like they killed each other. Which is fantastic. And then, apparently Gumshoe was accused. I don't know how they came to that, but because Miles disproves the theory that they killed each other. Just trying to think if there's any other ones. Bruce Goodman was said to have been killed in 2 places at once, but then it turned out, obviously, there's only one Bruce Goodman. Any other ones where they kill multiple people? I guess that nurse kills like 30 people in the clinic by mistake, but that's not a murder case. It's just negligence. Acro kills the ringmaster. Mad on guard. I mean, the killer kills many people, but that's not part of this. It's not part of the case. Mask to mask. Luke Atme only kills 1. It's almost like I'm disappointed. Dahlia kills several people, right? But it's over the course of different... Well, actually, she doesn't kill Godot, obviously. Diego Armando. She kills her sister, right? In case 4. Pura Tigre doesn't kill anybody else in that case. It's pretty rare to have a double murder. I like that. I feel like there's another one. I just can't think of it. Case 5, there's only 1. Trials and Tribulations. Apollo Justice. Kristoff kills 2 people, but it's in different cases. Case 1, he kills Shady Smith. Case 4, he kills Drew Misham with the stamp that he planned so long ago. It's like a time bomb. And then case 2, nothing. Case 3, nothing. The Interpol agent is the victim. Maybe Dual Destinies there was one? I don't think so. Case 1, 2, 3 was the other professor. Case 4 and 5 was just... Who even was the victim in that? I can't even remember. But whatever, I don't think there were 2. How about the investigations games? Case 1 was the guy's buddy. Investigations 1. 2 was the guy on the plane, the Hicks guy. Case 3 was like a fake out kind of case. They kind of faked the victim and then something happened. So Callisto U is the only other one I can think of. The 5th case, even though... Oh, Alba was one too. I forgot that he killed... How could I forget my favorite villains? Because that mask to mask plot is such a minor part of the story. It's all about Manny Cochin. But he does kill both Cochin and the mask to mask loser, Imitation, who everybody forgets about. He doesn't even deserve to be remembered. What a loser. So Callisto U and her boss, Quercus Alba, do double murders both. I think that's pretty much it. Can't believe I forgot that guy. And at first he says it's in self-defense because he fakes the wound. He switches the wound out. And he says, oh, that was from Mask to Mask. And then it turns out it was from Manny Cochin. So if Manny Cochin had successfully killed Alba, it would have been self-defense there too. It would have been self-defense for real. And then I love doing these tangents. Just trying to see what I can remember. So there's 2 other double murders. Callisto U, Quercus Alba, and then Investigations 2. Horace Knightley only kills 1. Patricia Rowland only kills 1. Is that her name, right? Patricia Rowland, the warden of the prison. One of the stupidest motivations for a crime, too. Case 3, Dane Gustavia kills the one guy. Freezes him in the block of ice. We were just talking about that, actually. As far as throwing out the times of death. Case 4, Blaze kills the one girl. I forget her name. Doesn't he do something else, though? I feel like he had a whole plethora of other crimes that we talked about. But mainly he killed her. I don't remember a double murder scenario there. It couldn't be, right? And then case 5, Simon kills the body double imposter. So that's pretty much it, yeah. So we'll just say there were 2 other double murders. So this is a very rare case occurrence. And it happened over the same span of time, too. Like, it's not like he just got killed today on a different day. We met several times about the meeting. I didn't know him very well. He seemed pretty quiet. Only those 2 have their eyes open. The victim and the killer have their eyes closed. Didn't you eat together the day before the Wright? Yeah, we ate this one super stinky dish, but it was actually really good. Have you never had it before? Love at first bite. Salty noodles at Eldune's Noodles. Wait. You weren't there. That was Apollo Justice. That's from Apollo Justice. So when did you go there? I guess you live around there? Added garlic and herbs. That we don't speak about that case. That was case 2 of Apollo Justice, one of the worst ever. Alita Tiala's garbage self. Let it simmer for a really long time. Felt like a hot pot than ramen to me. We can bring you some. Is that what you want your last meal to be before you get executed? Was Zealot like when you were eating? He seemed to be enjoying the food. As soon as we were done, he left to go pray. So that was much before the ritual started. What did you do? Turn to the temple to prepare for the rite. It coincides with Inmi's description of the events. She's not Mrs. anymore, she's Miss. Because she's a widow. Any idea who might be pretending to be Lady Kee'ra? The rite started, it was just me and the abbots. The vision showed a third figure who looked like Lady Kee'ra. It doesn't seem like Phoenix suspects the wife at all yet. Is it going to be one of those where he doesn't come up with it till he's in court? Sometimes, like, you know... Oh god, I can go on another tangent about that. Like, usually he doesn't come up with the killer right beforehand. Even a child could work it out, like he says Red White, so he says it to his face that he suspects him before going to court. Does he suspect D. Vasquez before going to court? I think somewhat. He just talks about the blackmail, though. Von Karma, he doesn't suspect till the very end. Damon Gant, he seems to be sure about, but he can't prove it. He does that one pretty slyly. A lot of them are in court, though. Eeny Meeny practically admits to it. At the very end of that investigation, I remember that. It was a good moment. Acro, he suspects. Even Mo seems to have figured it out somehow. Today we're going to face up against the real culprit, I think he says. And then Matt, he figures out. Matt even admits it on that last investigation day, the super long one. And who else does he figure out beforehand? Trials, does he figure out Luke Atme did it beforehand? I can't remember actually. I think he does. But it's such a complicated case. I gotta replay that one sometime. That's such a good case. I just can't remember all the details. Furio Tigre is pretty obvious. And Godot, he doesn't figure out, I don't think, at all. He comes up with that one super late because of the visor and stuff. Maya's testimony at the end kind of carries him. And then I'm mostly thinking about Phoenix here. How frequently does he come up with the culprit ahead of time? Wish I could have seen her in the flesh. That's what she's upset about. Supposed to have been impossible for a third party to enter the inner sanctum, but not only did the third party come in, Dad's Arbol did too. So 4 people were there. So this intraversible area had 2 people sneak in. Would have had no match for Lady Kee'ra's wings. Since when does she have wings? Real Lady Kee'ra doesn't have wings. But she is based on a bird. Secret room with a secret door at the inner sanctum. Well, you should know that because you were the one doing the ritual. There are 88 secret plume punisher bases here in khur'ain. What does that mean, bases? That's all we got. Hey, you really weren't any help this time. You know, I would be kind of doubting Phoenix if I was her for the first time. You did just lose. Go to El Dunes or your favorite burger joint, which they still haven't given a name 6 games in. They always say it, but extra large hamburg steak topping on my salty bowl. Best of both worlds. You can have whatever you like. She's gonna give us a clue now inadvertently. Yeah, what is it? Super important. How come you didn't ask yesterday? I guess she forgot. My bag, you'll find a whole folding book. Or while we're there, we'll eavesdrop on her doing something. Like when we're under the stage, last case, or something. It'll be completely by accident. Because Phoenix is too dense to figure out that she's the Lady Kee'ra. Although I guess there isn't really any compelling evidence to say she is. Priestesses who perform the Wright, Tome of Secrets. Why not just give it back, since you're not going to be doing that again? Pray for found out all heck. Just give it back to the wife. Lady Kee'ra's real name. Which is what? You're not supposed to say it, right? It's going to be something case-breaking. In our desperation, we'll find it. Phoenix is never up to anything, dude. He's just up to his usual antics. So where would it be here? You would think if it's important, the wife would have thrown it away or hidden it. Or just said, you don't need it, I'll take it back, because I'm usually the Lady Kee'ra anyway. You could do more than that. I wish I could look at the picture of Zealot, but it just doesn't let you. I would if you stopped interrupting me. Being a little bit assertive. Where would it be? Is there another area here I can look at? Oh, it's in her bag. I thought it was by the bed, didn't she say? Something about a bed? Maybe I misheard it. Misread it. Just take the whole bag with you. Why would you just leave it there? Steel Samurai. And what was that? What was his wife wearing when they were eating dinner? It looked like a Steel Samurai had like a watch or something on her hand. Oh, action-packed hero show. Man, how many cases has this guy been mentioned in? Another tangent. The original, case 3. And then he's brought up a lot in case 4, Turnabout Goodbyes. He's even brought up in Rise from the Ashes because Emma has the ringtone of Steel Samurai. Justice for All, he's obviously brought up in case 4 a ton. And Trials, he's brought up in... He might not be brought up in Trials and Tribulations, actually. At least I don't remember if he was. Apollo Justice, I don't think he's brought up at all. Miles Edgeworth, he's brought up a ton because Edgeworth likes him secretly. Case 5, he's obviously a big part. Larry's dressed up as him. And he's like an ambassador for the... Or like a goodwill peacekeeper at the embassy. Like he's come for the event. I don't think he's mentioned beyond that case though. Blue Badger theme park. Probably the dumbest idea, case 3. But that's not him. Case 2, case 1. Yeah, I don't think he's mentioned besides case 5. Investigations 2 is what? I don't think he's mentioned in case 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Oh, there was like a balloon, wasn't there? Steel Samurai balloon in case 1. So they've used this guy way too much. I'm kind of sick of it. Maya's favorite show. Striking's similar to the Plume Punisher. They're similar, but Steel Samurai definitely came first. Common thread. Trading with a Plume Punisher fan, but why would she give up? I guess because this is more rare. This is one in the world. That one she could probably find on eBay or something. Yeah, we really need to be talking about this on a day where we're gonna get executed tomorrow. Like, dude, I would not waste a second to be that tome of secrets that Maya was talking about. Tome given to the one and only to the one who will play the role of Lady Kee'ra. So you should give it back to the wife. Why not just take the whole bag? And you can't really give it to her through the detention glass anyway. Bring around is coming undone. Whoops. That doesn't look like a female for some reason, does it? Like the legs look more like a guy's legs. The weird picture. The hand looks feminine, but the legs look masculine somehow to me. Whatever. So this is some secret thing for some reason. I don't know why. Go blind. It's the Tome of Secrets. So you're trying to get us cursed. Here is liable to swoop down and gorge our eyes out. The fake one or the real one? Yeah, no shit. What do you want to ask her now? And kind of look at it. This is like grasping at straws. This shouldn't have anything to do with anything. Let's just read it right in front of her. The priestess acting as Lady Kee'ra representative must know her name. That name is Imsan. Imsan. After speaking this name is unforgivable. Oh shit. I just did it. Lock this now. Why does that look like an A? Lock this knowledge deep in your heart and devote yourself to prayer. If you're not supposed to speak it, you're just supposed to know it, I guess. Okay. I don't know what that says. Something about the image is going to be important, though. Carrying the dagger, has the robe. I'm not sure. Let's present it to her first. Rub it in her face. You're gonna get cursed. One way to scare her. It's pretty useful. Looky here, your benevolence. It's the tome of secrets. I shall have you put to death for the crime of blasphemy. If looks could kill, not the way that you might think, though. Not talking about Emma here, right? This is not something I would normally speak to an outsider about, such as you. Make an exception, you don't have to. Well, just let her do the talking. Very important tome is bestowed upon the priestess in the purification rite. Very important. What's written inside? It's only like one page, isn't it? She looks so shocked. What contains Lady Kee'ra's true name? Well, we kind of knew that. Didn't you already say that? His name is the most important thing to know. Well, only you are supposed to know it, I guess. It's important about name. What was it again? It was like IHN something something. Imsan. Without a name, a priest's voice will fail to reach a person's mitima. It's much like... Oh, so let me get this straight. That means you didn't know any people's names who you were doing the seance for. That's why you got them wrong. You failed to reach anything. Trying to send a letter without the recipient's address. Look who's talking. Can only be identified once you know the deceased's face and name. What is this, Death Note? It's like when you see someone in a crowd you recognize but you don't know their name. It makes it impossible to get their attention. I don't know about that, but... You know a spirit's face and true name before you can commune with it. It's the same for khur'anism's most secret art, one that my mother alone may use, which is channeling. How can they be so ignorant about the Ami-Fae line of channeling? Yeah, I've only seen it happen in front of me countless times. How would they not know this? And why are they even training you to do it then? They're training her to spirit channel, but she's not supposed to be able to do it. Makes no sense. And it's famous overseas, wherever, you know, United States or in Japan, depending on the version of the game. Mia Fae, Ami Fae, Morgan Fae, Misty Fae, Pearl Fae, Maya Fae, they can all do it in some form or another. But apparently only the queen can do it. He's baiting her like crazy. Spirit channeling. This is kind of annoying me. They've never heard of the khur'ain channeling technique or anything, huh? Even though I agree with that. Hag frog upon my face. That's a unique insult. Medium must possess. No, that's not right. You channeled the spirit. It's not about possession. They never said it like that. Have you heard about the case where Maya Fae was accused of killing someone because she was channeling a dead nurse? It was kind of an international case. They got Franziska von Karma all riled up because her defeat was in the worldwide news. You didn't hear about that case though, huh? where Maya Fey was publicly on worldwide national TV, in that case, being accused of spirit channeling someone who then used her body to kill someone. You didn't hear about that one though, right? Cool. Just checking. With the power of spirit channeling, one can even bring back the most ancient spirits. Can we bring back Mia Fey? She's not that ancient. Yeah, wait a second. Doesn't Maya normally turn into Mia whenever she's shocked by something? So this time, she controlled it such that it's like one of those weird restrictions. Like, we're not allowed to spirit channel here either. It's like considered cheating as far as the developers go. So they came up with this excuse. Only the queen can do it, so Maya's not allowed to channel Mia to save us. Because normally, if there's a guilty verdict hanging over our head, Mia always comes to the rescue. This is the first time it just let it happen. I imagine they're pretty shocked when they come back from ancient times. Spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. Spirit that's brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between its death and moment it's channeled. Is this going to be relevant here? I feel like this will be relevant in a later case, not right now. It clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. Thus, even heroes and scholars of antiquity can be channeled and directly learned from. Our queens have also used this power to help their rulers, the rulers of neighboring lands, seek counsel. By who had never been invaded, and how we have maintained our unique culture. I don't see what that has to do with them. Okay. Really effective tool for international politics. So Maya could rule your country. Endless influx of illegal immigrants from neighboring lands. Where have I heard that one before? Interesting, topical. It's like they predicted the future or something. I'm seeking the same great power as my mother. Well, Maya's always legal. Lost their way in life and look to khur'anism for their salvation. That's good though. Those of dubious nature who have been driven from their own lands. Do they become rebels? Yeah, it's been pain. Oh, that's a harsh one, Phoenix. Holy shit. They were treating him pretty well, yeah. Can you channel spirits? Royal priestess. Well, she's a princess though, so what if she becomes queen? She would have to. Yeah, it seems to take you beyond your ability because you suck at them so bad. I mean, you tell me what happened in the last two trials. You got owned. You even admitted it. One of the important roles fulfilled by the queen. That's what my mother taught me when I was little. Of course she can. She can presumably channel spirits too all the way. This is a weird conversation. Why are we going into such great detail about this? Vital part of my training. So what do you think that Maya's here for? She's training to be able to channel spirits and be the master of the khur'ain channeling technique. But she's not allowed to channel spirits? Makes no sense. It will not be long before I too master the secret art of spirit channeling. Such a secret, Pearl Fey did it too without even knowing what she was doing. Queen who unites her people for the greater good of khur'ain. Yeah, we get it. Maya's biting the bullet for everybody, but you should have had Mia help us. Maybe they'd acknowledge you as queen then. Let my clan and the other villagers down. Yeah, don't push it, Phoenix. We gotta give this back to Maya. That was a long conversation. Look who just said that. Or does it? The queen is a spirit medium. How did she always know what I'm gonna suggest? She did that before too, with saying that I was gonna accuse the victim's wife, beh'leeb in me, of the killing. She predicted that just as soon as... Can she read minds or something? That would be insane, but it's only case 3. But somebody else who can channel could do it. Well, I guess I wouldn't put it past this series to do that, but... Why can't it be the wife? It's a really roundabout... Oh, are they after the fugitive? The Dats Arball guy? The guy with the bushy beard. No reason to panic. The police are on his trail, and they were so incompetent that when you had him in a court of law, surrounded by bailiffs with guns, you couldn't apprehend him. Also, like Yanni Yogi, he escaped, too. Somehow. At least this guy had some covert skills and military experience. Not this again, don't pass out. Some stretching and exercise when I get back home. I'll be... Yeah, I've seen him, just right down the road. How could we hear that from there anyway? Somebody was yelling, don't let him get away. Oh god, are we gonna have to find him? Oh, he's in the sewer. I see it, it's open. I knew that would come into play. She looks so sad there. Take a princess hostage. Should have guards with her. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Do you have to actually go down there? Why do these things reset every time? And then they say the same thing. I really don't like that. Then I won't know if it's something actually new or not. This is the bird again. Apparently it looks just like Lady Kee'ra because that statue was mistaken for her apparently. Which makes no sense at all. Same conversation about food, right? Or wait. That was from even before we had Rafa following us around. There's obviously the sewer. Manhole cover is open. Now is he gonna be like a police dog? Give him the parachute. I think he might have touched. So how would I initiate this? Present it to him? Let me do this first. I did notice how slow you run. And you did just hurt your back. Escaped prisoner vanished right around here. There aren't really any good hiding spots. Melted into the crowd. Phoenix seems genuinely concerned about her. See, if I was really extreme, I could even kidnap her. Just kidnap the princess and say, let me out of this damn country, otherwise I'll kill her. That's all I would have to do. You think I'm gonna let Maya get executed? Let me and Maya out of here, or I'll kill this stupid girl. Which is a bit extreme. I'm just saying, like, Phoenix could do that if he was hardcore like me. Or Von Karma. I'm just trying to think, what would Manfred Von Karma do in this situation? If he was here and someone he cared about, I guess he wouldn't care about someone that much as a weakness. But he has a wife, so like his wife is being accused of murder. And she gets executed tomorrow. Do you think he'd be taking it this lightly? I just can't respect this approach. You gotta be doing something more than just doing a typical investigation. You already lost, like your methods already failed. You don't get to just keep believing when you already lost. Maybe he'll have something to say about how far back did I... Maybe I should just try everything. I can't remember what I presented to him. It's been a while. So let me just... We'll present what we think he touched. Which is probably that banner, but do we have it with us? The parachute thing? Or is it something else? It doesn't seem like he has much to say about anything. Plume punished for Strat, there's only one in the world. Is it gonna be like a fake one or something? Through the roof. If it really was the only one in the world, it could be worth a lot. I should just sell it. 100% viewership. Of the whole country, you mean? One TV channel? Shouldn't they have like a state-run propaganda channel all the time? Why would you want that stupid show on it? Wait, so what is it that he touched that I'm supposed to present? The flag? I'm actually not even sure now. This thing. Oh, you're just assuming it was his? I thought it might be something to do with Zealot. Looks like a new animation. Are we gonna go down there ourselves? Could escape. You could just escape through here. Oh, I should go much farther. They might. Well, give me a guarantee before I even consider it. I wouldn't do it anyway. That could be a good scene. Phoenix asks her, will you guarantee a commute? Stop saying you might give it to me. And then she says yes. And then he says, well, I don't care. I'm still gonna defend her. Just to see if they're serious about it. True. We know. I mean, it's obviously good luck. You've got nothing to lose. You know how Maggie Bird says, oh, she's the queen of bad luck? Maybe Maya has taken that title. Like, who's been accused of murder more times? Maggie was accused in Justice for All Case 1, Trials, Tribulations Case 3, and then Edgeworth Case 1. So to compare Maggie and Maya, they've both been accused 3 times, right? Maya in Case 2 of the original game, Case 2 of Justice for All, and now this time, right? Nothing else in between, right? I don't think. So that's a pretty bad track record. That's not really the point. You've already lost. Yeah, but you also have to win, dude. By any means necessary. I wanted to present him more stuff. Okay, I guess I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to catch this guy all on my own? Why not just tell the cops? Why wouldn't you trust the cops here? They do want to catch the rebel. They're just incompetent as hell, I suppose. What do you think you're gonna accomplish? Got knocked out? Or you just fell down or something? Or have you been taken hostage in like a hideout? Is this gonna be debts, our balls? Oh, so was it fake hair then, or did he cut it off? Must be a disguise he wears? This is what he really looks like? I guess it could be confusing to a lot of people. How much was he, look at that spider. How much was he pretending to lose his memory? I don't think he really was at all. It just slowly came back to him as he went. And look, he still has a picture of the queen, but he has a knife through her head. That's cute. And there's some other pictures in the background there. Some kind of costume on the right. Banner in the middle. Kind of like Defiant Dragons memorabilia stuff. You finally came to. Wow, you didn't really see his face. It's more so his clothing that should give it away. Oh, well. We already know. We already knew that. So he must have not been wearing that armband? Obviously he wasn't. What a surprise. Isn't that what we were after? I mean, okay, maybe this is more what I wanted Phoenix to do. You're already guilty. You're already going to be killed. So you may as well die in a cool way to somebody like this instead of just a state execution. Nice animation. Now, what we should do here, since we have a track record of making the princess look bad and the country look bad, let's make a deal. I'll work with you to overthrow the queen, because I have no allegiance to this place. You should like me, right? I made the princess look really bad by getting through her seances and stuff. Is it going to be like one of those the killer kidnapping deals, like where Phoenix is compelled to do what they say because whatever, like just keep watching him eat these fucking apples. Phoenix is compelled to do what they say because they have Maya hostage or something? Like they'll rescue her from prison and then take her hostage? He easily could, and then that'll be it. Yeah. Oh really? This Dirk's office? Kinda. It'd be okay as your office or hideout, but it's not good enough to be Dirk's. This is really the king of the rebellion's office? This is the best you got? I guess king isn't the right term, but you know what I mean. So I can't tell whether we're gonna end up being on his side. I'm almost leaning towards that. We're gonna end up being on Dirk's side, not the queen's. And we're gonna help Dirk overthrow the queen? Somehow. Rebel safe house. A law office. But why? Oh, this is where we learn the backstory of why they hate lawyers so much. So you shouldn't want to kill me. What, are you stupid, Phoenix? Why do you think they hate lawyers so much? There's a connection there. That's the first thing I would have guessed. Really? Is he just testing me? He's just testing me to see if I'll say that's a good thing. I should say you shouldn't do that. What is that animation? Am I tied up right now, or are we just sitting there casually? He's being nice enough. Tell me about trust in me and zealots. He's really being serious. Is it because he lost his memory? That his loyalty is shaken? Or he just chose to be anyway? I mean, I could just escape with you. Why don't we make a deal like that? Let's just both escape and get out of this stupid country. And jailbreak Maya out of there. This is not a turn of events I expected to happen. I guess he's not mad at me for accusing him of being the killer, though. That's the point of being a rebel. You should be really on their good side. You're like what Dirk aspired to be. Ex-lawyer and all. Incense and white flowers. Flowers are still fresh. Must have been put here today or yesterday. So my guess is Dirk defended someone who was like accused of assassinating royalty, and he won the case. That's why they hate lawyers so much. But then he got so mad at what happened, like the false accusations and stuff, that he became a rebel, something like that. Flowers are still fresh. You can see what a joke this country is too. Like, I could have easily delivered Rafa to this guy, and then he could have given her to Dirk. Now you have a princess hostage. It would have been so easy. You're letting her hang out with... They don't make it clear she has guards at any point, just that Nana old lady. So Phoenix could have just grabbed her if he was working with this guy, given her over. That's all it would have took. Are they the same kind? Traditional thing. I don't see why it's anything special. Unless he's mourning somebody he lost, that we'll find out later. Maybe he still hasn't remembered all of his past life experiences. Photo of Dirk and his compatriots. What does Dirk really look like? I can't see. Here's one that looks really old. Is that Dirk? 20 years ago. Why does that kid in the red look so familiar? Is that sodomy? With the hair? On the left? Is that what it's gonna be? Sodomy and Apollo. Justice. I'm sure it's not, but... He doesn't look so evil. Phoenix, don't believe everything they tell you. Who's the other one supposed to be? In red? The left is... yeah, sodomy. Yeah. I mean, it certainly looks like him. Yudi was once a rebel too. What happened? So what... I mean, it makes sense because he probably trained him to be a lawyer. Not really. As long as you don't lose. Just don't lose and it's fine. Or just don't actually take any cases. Or take cases that aren't murder. Spark revolution from the inside. Oh, really? So he's not a... Huh. Dirk is battling to change the legal system. So, sodomy is actually helping them? In a subtle way? One day, but that day hasn't come yet. Do her bidding. But maybe he's just trying to appear loyal. Maybe he does, he's just hiding it. It's hard to tell about the other child. Eric's adopted son, but he's gone back overseas. Wait, I even joked Apollo, but I thought Apollo was the son of the Grammar, right? The lost of Grammar? Am I wrong? What? But how? This is a stupid tie-in. You didn't need to do that. What? Wait. This is so stupid and unnecessary. So, of all the unnecessary tie-ins you didn't need to do, I'm pretty positive Apollo is the son of the Thalassa Grammarite person in Apollo Justice, obviously. So I thought he was the son of one of those magicians, right? I don't get it. Doesn't do Apollo justice. Very good. I think that's really dumb and unnecessary. They didn't need to do it. Well, he did just win a case to protect Trucy. Wonder if this confrontation was before or after. Or just when he left in general. Yeah. And how would nobody have ever mentioned that he's from here? He adopted him and then what happened? Talk about a retcon, dude. I don't know what to say about that. We just need to appreciate this for a second. The loss. So Dirk was banging this chick. Wait, am I wrong? Wait, it was this person? Wait, am I missing something? Apollo. Had Apollo. Wait. He left True Grammar to marry Jove Justice, a guest performer, and had a son named Apollo with him. Oh wait, they did say he was adopted. I'm confused. Apollo's biological father. So now they'll retcon and say, oh, they went here. I don't want to read all that because then it'll spoil something, but I just think stuff like that is so unnecessary. You didn't need that connection. Now Apollo will come here and do something out of a sense of duty to his father-ish. And what happened? Like, why'd he leave then? Or like, why'd he not stay with his father? What are these hanging here? Lizards? He was eating them, wasn't he? He's the one who had the animation of eating them. Sewer lizards. Yeah, no shit. You saw him doing it before, didn't you? Yeah, same animation. I can't tell whether I'm tied up or not. He seems too casual. He certainly doesn't consider me an enemy, or I would have never woken up. Get electricity, power goes out occasionally. It's pretty nice that you have it. Stuff in the refrigerator. Why don't you see for yourself? Yeah, I mean, for a secret hideout, it's not bad, but for his main office, I think it's a little underwhelming. Are we gonna meet Dirk yet? What's this thing with the dragon on it? Some kind of a sign. What dragon? I don't see the dragon. Oh, in the back. It's kind of hard to see. His business sign when it was Dirk's law office. No shit. Couldn't have been that long ago. What kind of hideout is that though? You're just using his old law office? Isn't that pretty obvious? Hope he can put his sign up someday. Yeah, are we gonna overthrow the queen? Phoenix just gave a real insight into his intentions. So he's not against these guys, really. I wouldn't be either. He'd be pissed. I'd be pissed at this country. It's so aggressively against me. It's like practically designed just to be my mortal enemy. Is that your coat? Dirk. Why is he being so nice? Smells all moldy. It might be what he really wears. You're the one who asked to do it. I guess you didn't ask, but you were eager beaver. A law book. The dragon mark's been branded into the cover. Dirk's law book. Did he write one? Why is Phoenix being so absolutely stupid right now? Really? The leader of the rebels? That Dirk, who is also a lawyer, which we established like a million times? Mark of the dragon is the emblem of the rebellion. Really dirty. Defense Culpability Act. Branding with the Divine Dragon's mark demonstrates the strength of Dirk's convictions. I guess. Must have done a ton of research on the Defense Culpability Act. He practically wore out the entire section. That's not really how pages work, but okay. Branding it with... Okay, I read that. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Yeah, that's a very unique idea. Like Hammurabi's code, like eye for an eye, except punishing the defenders instead. Which is a weird thing because if you do believe your client's innocent, it wouldn't matter. As long as you get a fair trial setting, which you obviously don't. But yeah, like, think about it for Phoenix. If that had existed where he comes from, it wouldn't have mattered, because he never lost. Except for the Matt and Guard case, which he was compelled to do by blackmail. So if you take away that one, he's fine. Pretty much the game treats losing a case as a game over anyway, so for the player it's no different. Whether Phoenix gets executed too or not, you lose the game either way. Upon losing a case. Except for this time, I guess. Already got a guilty verdict. There are bowls and platters of food here. They're still warm, as if this was all recently prepared. Must have a pretty big appetite. You saw him wolfing those lizards down. Big and strong, yet even bigger appetites, like the Goku effect. That's why Goku eats so much, right? But you just fled from the police. That's even more reason to. Stop falling for that, dude. He just keeps cutting the apple. They didn't put an animation for him to stab you, Phoenix. Let's start with an appetizer. Good one. Look more like onions when he cuts them so cleanly like that. Yeah, I think we've seen enough of that. Okay, we've seen all this. I feel like there's something on the bottom left here, but I can't reach it. See, it won't... maybe not. We could go down there further. But wait, this is his actual old law office, so it's not in the sewers. Like you can see outside and stuff, so... Huh. You'd think this would be the first place you'd look. Everyone just assumes it's abandoned now, I guess. Alright, I think there's nothing else to see. I do like all the motion in the background, like the dust and the spider and stuff. There's a ladder leading underground. Almost makes you wish the game was fully voice acted and like 3D like LA Noire, where you could walk around like that. The investigation games kind of gave that notion, where you can walk around the crime scene and move and see your character. I kind of wish they had gone in that direction more, instead of this first person perspective. You have to understand, people will defend it, but I'm saying the whole reason they did this originally was because it was easier to make, especially on an older system like the Game Boy Advance, or whatever, the Game Boy, because all you have to do is show the still image in the background and then you can point and click. So even though it's not a still image anymore, you could easily do like an LA Noire style game if you put in the funds now. And I wish they would do that for the next one. But they're not going to. Ladder leading underground. He must have brought me in through here. Oh, I thought... Yeah, because this isn't underground right now. There's no reason for me to leave yet. I should see what else he has to say. So he's just going to let me leave? He really has nothing against me. Let's see what he says about lawyers, like his boy Dirk. Parting gift for me leaving? No, you can't keep it. He seems serious about that, but can't tell if he's serious about anything. He's gonna respond to something, isn't he? What do you have to say about my statement about the water in the fountain? I mean, you were kind of there, even though you fell off to the side and bumped your head. And you even tried to incriminate her, didn't you? But we shouldn't really be on good terms. Like, I should be saying, how could you incriminate Maya like that? And he should be saying, how could you try to incriminate me like that? But I guess no harm done. He's a pretty chill guy. Ask him about that. He's the one who put it there, right? Even had his scent. What did it say, and does it make sense now? At the usual spot, bring Grub the key too. So that must be from him to Dirk, or vice versa. But you just put it there and he thought no one would notice? Kind of leaving a clue pretty conspicuously. You could have hidden it better. Or maybe somebody else put it there. They found it and they thought it was just a normal prayer flag. The dagger. He's got nothing to say about anything, dude. How about the law book right here? Nothing. I'm shocked. High priest murder. I don't remember much, even though you testified like 6 times about it. Please tell me about your connection to the victim. How did you escape, and did he help you? Because that's what the prosecutor said. By the time I came to, it was already down. Where were you when you came to? I was already down. Or it was already dawn. I'm reading it wrong. Must have been out cold the whole time. Literally cold, because it was freezing. You didn't see the crime happen? Yeah, now we're getting to that. I didn't remember a thing. I was afraid it would seem suspicious, so I came up with that whole story. Okay. Oh hey, he's being pretty nice to you now, so don't push it. He could be mad at you too for accusing him, and he really didn't do it. Look at those tears. You were at the scene of the crime but weren't involved in it. For once, that's actually true apparently. Dirk the attorney. Dirk used to be a lawyer. He was a force to be reckoned with when he was still practicing. Is he gonna say, oh, he was the best lawyer in the world and I've never heard about him for some reason? Juggernaut of the law and mighty as a dragon. Strike terror into prosecutor's heart just by glaring at him. Called it his dragon's glare. Sounds like a Pokemon move. He even got criminals to confess and pass out with a well-placed glare. Kind of like Phoenix, except it's not the glare. Most important of all, he would never surrender, kind of like me. Fight for the accused no matter how the odds were stacked against him. Is that what you mean by will of the dragon? That would be it, actually. Our work in court was very similar, I would say. Mighty impressive. Except we lost. Yeah, even when we actually got beat, we were still trying today. But if he's so good, he shouldn't have taken that many beatings. Not really, you can't say that, Phoenix. You had an open field at the end and you just couldn't make an argument to save your life. Gotta start packing. But that didn't really help me that much, did it? With this case. What are you trying to do? Overthrow the queen? Make it so that the law is fair again? It could be a lot of things. Well, because he was escaping from prison. I should think that was fairly obvious. Well, his plan is just to escape now. What were you trying to do there? Trying to escape from prison, that's all. That high priest was a fool for getting taken in by Dirk. How so? You should have tried hightailing it out of khur'ain like I'm doing. So he is making Dirk look like the bad guy, but what does that mean? So Dirk did what he said? What the hell? What's he up to then? He can easily just leave or chop my head off. He doesn't have to cooperate with this. Do I need to investigate more? What are you trying to hide? Nothing, no way, no how. What do I think he's hiding? So is he gonna let me leave or do I have to do it right now? I imagine there's not much else to find. Let me try actually. What if I have to go searching for more stuff? Well, he says there's no reason to leave, but can I just leave? It won't let me. This is a very scripted part, like where you just have to do it. Magatama. I'm not a big fan of this mechanic, but I haven't had to do it much. Just this is the second time, right? I did it once to the wife earlier. I'm gonna ask you again. Why were you at the inner sanctum on the day of the murder? This was a very unexpected part, though, I will say that, getting kidnapped like this. What were you trying to do there? Trying to escape from prison, which is believable. But the high priest was a fool. He fell for Dirk's line and sold his own country out. Why? How can you say such things about him? Why not? He helped you escape, didn't he? Don't you even care what happened to him? I was getting out of the rebellion anyway, so it has nothing to do with losing your memory. You don't have much loyalty. You should have opened his eyes. We never stood a chance against the Garan regime. Oh, he's being serious. I thought he was just testing me to see if I was disloyal to the Defiant Dragon cause. This is odd because you were the right hand, like, hurt you on the inside. I don't know about that, but this wouldn't be here in the room if you didn't feel a thing. Well, what's in the room? In this room, does that mean a piece of evidence that I happen to have, or does it mean something that he has here? Oh, the flowers. Expresses sympathy. I mean, it could just be for something else, but this is probably where it wants me to go. I want to see, do I have a health bar in the overworld? Like, what if I get something wrong? What will happen? What does that have to do with anything? You don't know? Try looking deep into your heart. I still don't get it. I'm starting to think you don't either. So you can't fail? So you can just get it wrong as many times as you want. It's obviously the flower. Namanda flower. These flowers are offered in memory of the dead. So he could just say, yeah, my mom passed away like last week. It doesn't have to be that. Hit you so hard you've been grieving here alone, haven't you? I don't know about that, but okay. Those flowers don't mean anything, it's just a courteous way of saying goodbye. Why hide the fact you're mourning his death? Oh, maybe he has a symbol on him. That he's actually a member of the... Well, that wouldn't really make sense. The clergy, too. I'm done with the rebellion. I haven't heard from Dirk in a few days. Tomorrow I'm planning to kiss his kingdom goodbye. You've been in contact with the rebels lately? Why is he even letting me do this? He could just threaten me and throw me out. If ever there is a time they don't have to play along with you, it's right now. Ties you to the other rebels. I mean, you're in his hideout right now, so it'd be odd if he didn't know where you were. This one. And it has your scent on it, so apparently that's a form of proof. Apparently so. Who did I say wrote that, or that I thought wrote that? I thought it had something to do with Zealot. Like he was planning something too, conspiring something. Maybe they were working together, the victim and the other victim. Zealot and the high priest. They brought this food for you at your request. Hoo ha ha. Lying about leaving the rope. No, he could still be leaving. He just wanted one good meal after his jailbreak. But it's not like I care. I'm not against Dirk. Yeah, otherwise what? If I don't, what will you do, Phoenix? I requested the grub. I was just taking advantage of him. Yeah, that's what I thought. If you are gonna leave, why not get a good meal out of it? Which is more like relationship advice with your spouse or something, but still. With my face, or like a girlfriend. With my face plastered all over the place, I couldn't stay out in the open anymore. Well, just keep your fake hair on, or whatever. Did you shave it off, or were those wigs or fake things? I'm not sure. I just took advantage of my former comrades for some grub. Okay, I can accept that. I'm kind of buying it. Like, it's certainly plausible, but what? Just by looking at you. The white hot flames of revolution definitely burn inside of you. Flames burned out a long time ago. Oh, he said just by looking at you. That doesn't have to do with him necessarily. What would it be? None of this has to do with him. I guess it would have to just be... nothing in here, right? Just this? I don't really know. Just the fact that he has a book there? I'm no lawyer. But who says it's your book? It's Dirk's book. This is Dirk's office. It's Dirk's way of representing the will of the dragon. But that you would just wear to appease Dirk. It doesn't mean you're loyal to him. It's like I'm arguing against Phoenix right now. Really? That's such a stupid argument. It's your last day at work. You wouldn't still be wearing your work uniform if you were really quitting tomorrow. Forgot to take it off, that's all. As a wanted man, that should have been the first thing you took off. Okay, that's a good point, but you're in hiding right now. But then he was hiding it before, when he was the bearded man. Don't know nothing about you. Wear your heart and beliefs right on your sleeve, just like me. This is what I believe in. What? Just your badge? What else could it be? I don't see what this has to do with breaking his Magatama thing either. Once were the badge is actually good. Person's back against the wall, they always fall back on what they believe in. Just as I always have my badge, you always have the will of the dragon within you. Why is he talking about the will of the dragon like it's some concept he's very familiar with? He only just heard that term like an hour ago, or less. And would you risk your life for your beliefs? No, I wouldn't. No? No, because I wouldn't be much use to my client's debt. Well, you just did that, though. You did just risk your life. You've never once thought about leaving the Defiant Dragons, have you? Look, it's just like Dirk's. It's like you've got the will of the dragon inside you, too. In a different way, though. Are you gonna work together? Take down the queen? Is that what it's gonna be? Well, then why were you acting all cheeky? I had planned to take you out if you turned to be on the side of the royals. But you could have done that to to begin with. You must not have thought that I was on their side. Why, because I just interrogated you? Even if you were on their side, why would you make it obvious in front of him? I would still pretend like I'm not. So either way, my reaction would have been the same, just dig for information. No intention of leaving Dirk's group. They were testing me. I said that at the beginning, but it seemed like too long of a test. Foreigner, lawyer who's been charged with abetting a criminal to boot, so I should be more willing to join your side. Yet a fair share of lawyers get pardoned. For what? After weeping at the feet of the queen. Oh, so they use it as like a public example. But I didn't do that. That image was kind of cool though. You can see that now. Sorry I ever doubted you. Even though I just lost the case. This is a lot of time to commit to this situation that may or may not actually help Phoenix solve the case right now in front of me. Can we just do a jailbreak for Maya too, since you did one so successfully? Just parachute her out of there? This is a pretty unique situation where you might end up working with a criminal with a bunch of rebels. Assuming that what they're doing is actually wrong and the queen is right, which I'm not so sure. Especially with Inga doing what he's up to. Slimeball himself. He's too obvious about it though. So what are you doing here? Went to get the key. So that's what that note was about. Supposed to get my next order from Dirk there. The town swarming with cops thanks to the murder. Nothing I can do about that. And the escape, not just the murder. What about the order Dirk was supposed to give you? Have to abort the mission? I'm just lying low waiting for a chance to make contact with Dirk again. I thought you'd be able to tell me something about the High Priest's murder. Sorry to disappoint you. I was knocked out the whole time. Let me make it up to you with this. This looks like the orb in the wife's house, or in the High Priest's house. What is that? It's a key. It opens the door to one of our secret hideouts. So that means that's proof positive that he was a rebel. But we already know that now. They've already asserted that in court. This orb is a key to what, though? Like, where would I find it? Is there anything that looks like a secret hideout? Totally unexpected location. Tell me where. We couldn't have just any ordinary key. It seems to be the key to the rebel hideout. Is it to this rebel hideout, or... No, it must be a different one. Phoenix, are you not making that connection? You're a fellow brother in arms fighting the powers that be, even though I'm not officially part of your group. If it'll help you, feel free to pick my brain a bit more. Lady Kee'ra. This is what it takes for Phoenix to defect and become a rebel. Not that he was really loyal to this country, but everyone's been talking about the return of Lady Kee'ra. My friend Maya is suspected of being the rebel disguised as Lady Kee'ra. Why do they have to say it like that? Just say Lady Kee'ra. Like, rebel hunter disguised as. We get what you're talking about. No, she's accused of being the actual Lady Kee'ra who came from thousands of years ago, or whenever she's supposed to be from. You wouldn't happen to know who she really is, though, would you? She bushwhacked me and hauled me off to jail. Wait, that's new information. So she didn't kill you, though? Even worse, on top of attacking us and delivering us to the cops, she's been watching us like a hawk and framing us for different crimes. That's kind of big. This is always new information. We didn't know all this. I thought she just killed them. Our kingdom likes to pretend that its people are free to think what they want. I don't think they pretend. They seem pretty... Because of that, the authorities can't arrest you for sympathizing with the rebellion. That's why they secretly work with this Lady Kee'ra to kill you. Resort to framing people for things they didn't do. That is interesting that they even bother pretending. Lady Kee'ra figure is working for the government. Dude, I called that as soon as its token started. That was like the first thing I said in this case. That's not a surprise to me at all. It would have been a surprise if she wasn't. Even without the DCI, Dirk and his insurgent scumbudd's days are numbered. Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve. I didn't think of it when he said that. I thought that was something else, but... So he could just frame us for something we didn't do. But then we could still defend ourselves. So imagine that. A system where the government not only frames you for stuff, but where defending yourself or being defended by someone is considered a crime or such a stigmatized thing. Those two things kind of go hand in hand and compound each other. Talking about Lady Kee'ra, advanced combat skills, detailed surveillance, and clever setups. It makes perfect sense. So then have we not met the person yet? Maybe it's not the wife, or what does the wife have to do with those kind of skills? You're saying the monarchy is using Lady Kee'ra to secretly take out the rebels. Makes perfect sense. Is using her to control the people, but even that is like, there must be other people like that. You can't just be using Lady Kee'ra for that. You must have lesser known killers too, right? Like, one person is not going to be enough. Why don't the people protest if the monarchy is doing things like that? Well, that's why there's a rebellion. Don't have any conclusive evidence. Of course, everyone uses that term in this universe. Have you ever heard someone use that in real life, even lawyers? It's such an ace attorney term. We can't prove anything. Well, I can prove it in court. If I bring this in court, they'd probably dismiss it out of hand. I have to unmask Lady Kee'ra. So, how are we going to find out the wife's connection to the military, though? Or her experience? To get rid of that evil, no good Defense Culpability Act. Tell just by looking at Dirk's law book. Turn this kingdom into a corrupt cesspool, where false charges are overlooked and prosecutors are the only ones heard in court. Yeah, nobody is even on the other side. 23 years since it was first enacted. Wow. What happened 23 years ago? Dirk probably defended someone who assassinated royalty successfully, or who was accused of doing so. Dude, how am I so spot on with this? Assassination of Queen Amara? That's where it all began. So they had framed someone, or they accused someone, and he, like the Robert Hammond effect, he succeeded in defending them. But Queen Amara, previous queen, was assassinated. It was the rebel leader Dirk who did it. Wait. Oh, they said he did it, but he probably successfully defended himself. Dirk assassinated the former queen. I bet he didn't. Those charges were completely trumped up. He was framed, okay. But wouldn't that be something he'd be proud of now? To say, like, that's why you follow me, because I assassinated the big queen, kind of thing, right? Dirk was a lawyer. Once the people thought a lawyer had killed the queen, they turned against all lawyers. Okay, that makes sense. That's how it was first passed. But then did he successfully defend himself, or... Yeah. Change the significance of the seance. How was it used before? But they probably weren't as big of a deal. Lawyers and prosecutors used to hotly contest the insights that came out of the seance. Like what I've been doing. The royal priestess's insights are just another piece of evidence. Yeah, you don't have to repeat everything he says, dude. You're not Polly the parrot. The insights became the only truth, and arguing against them was banned. That's not even true, though. They're letting me. If you have the balls to do it and risk your life, then you can do it. They're letting me. But it could be the truth. Your interpretations of those truths are what's wrong every time. Headsman's axe. From what I've seen, Rafa would agree with that. Kingdom of the Shadow of his former self became a dictatorship where the royals used the fear of trumped-up charges to rule. The only thing I was hoping to hear was that Dirk successfully defended somebody who did the assassination, even if it was himself, and that's why they hate defense attorneys, because he presumably got the person they thought killed the queen off. But I guess it was just a false charge. Well, why did they put the false charge on him? He must have done something before to upset them, right? That's a pretty big line to do. Charges were trumped up, Dirk was framed. So then who really did it, and why did they frame him? And does Dirk not use that as a badge of honor to say, I killed the previous queen, so you should follow me? If I was a rebel leader, I would advertise that. Even if it's not true. And that's what Dirk's been rebelling against. All we want is to live in a kingdom with a fair and impartial legal system. Only one way to make that come true. Overthrow the current regime. This is almost too close to home with Phoenix being a lawyer. It's too much about the Defense Act and not just about general rebellion. But I get it. That's the truth behind the rebels. It's kind of a contrived premise. Well, PW, my friend, it's about time for me to get going. After all, I am the fangs of divine dragons. So Phoenix didn't really seem against them in that moment. Dance Arball. You're not going to do that alley-oop. Yeah, that's how he escaped. Just by doing an alley-oop, he just magically escaped from court with heavily armed bailiffs. What is that? He just jumps up and then lands right where he was and vanishes. Even Phoenix doesn't get it. Guess we're friends now. Yeah. It could be the next day already. I guess he wouldn't have done that to me. He wants to see me win in court again. What more can we do today? I still don't have the answers. We gotta investigate that wife. She's the only one it could be. Are we not even gonna find out she did it? And then we have to just prove it in court and have Phoenix figure it out? We gotta find something out though. Good job, dog. You did good. You got knocked out and you fell behind. Came out after 5 minutes after you went in. You did help, actually. They were just standing here the whole time. I was gone for a while. Must have been out cold for a while. How did they not notice anything or follow me further? I could have just escaped. Secret hideout. It's gonna be in his house, but do I just have to connect the two together? What do you want? Any ideas? Like the foul odor emanating from me. I did walk through the sewers. Okay. Who said you could walk away? She doesn't know what she wants. 6-foot rule. Coronavirus predicted. In 2016 yet again. Sewers, you have nothing. Really, we didn't get much relevant to the case. That was more backstory and stuff. There's nowhere I wouldn't go if it would help Maya. Dive into a septic tank. If it would help Maya, I wouldn't rule it out. Stay back. I thought it was just a hypothetical. I mean, a sewer and a septic tank aren't far off. Can we present it to her? We probably shouldn't do that, but... Yeah, let's present Dirk's book. Get ourselves arrested. Actually, I'll save it before in case it actually does do something stupid. You should definitely not show her that. Lucky, lucky. Realistic reaction. That orb has a mesmerizing core. I must take a closer look at it. Mr. Orwell trusted me with this, so maybe I shouldn't even let Princess Raven handle it. Your benevolence? Wouldn't you be defiled by touching an object that has been in the hands of a lawyer? I suppose so. You do know that there are no such things as lawyer cooties, right? You should say there are such things as lawyer cooties. Well, I have a feeling it's in the house, but let me just do one last look. I might find a secret room in the priest's house that tells me that the wife is Lady Kee'ra or something. Or figure out at least what the victim was up to. And why she wanted him dead. See if Maya's still there? I don't think she is. You're not Maya. This should be the end of the day. Whatever the secret leads to. This is all the same. Inner sanctum. Probably nothing new. Oh, there is something new. Is there maybe a secret passage here in the bird statue? You are already searched here, did you not? And this isn't even related to the crime. You already lost this case. Probably shouldn't tell her I'm looking for the secret rebel hideout. You have a saying back home, leave no stone unturned. Now should I ask Nana? I know that one. It's not that hard of a saying to understand. It's not like she's stupid. Is it really gonna be here? I feel like it'll be at the house. Like, what would make sense? It's probably that. It's probably that pile of snow. Something to do with the statue. Oh, it's the eyeball. From that angle, I could glean it. So before I do that, is she gonna have something new to say because it's a different area? Let's check the house though anyway, because that looks like the same stone. But can I take that one too? Wait, it's gone. Or wait, there's one in the picture. Is it the same one? Or is it this one? See, that orb's right there in the background. They make it very obvious. What do you have to say? What do you have to say to that bag? Why don't you just give her the whole bag or keep it with you? I would just leave it there. It's a rare Steel Samurai collector's item. Range patch, it's a Steel Samurai. Looks so similar to the Punisher. We've already had this conversation. Keep asking about it multiple times. But will Phoenix notice that it's missing? Whatever. It's obviously the eyeball of the bird. And apparently that bird looks like Lady Kee'ra, according to Prosecutor Sodomy, which makes no sense. He literally cheated. He said the Lady Kee'ra in the vision was the statue. Does that look like Lady Kee'ra to you? Like, are you actually retarded? Look at what the fuck kind of claim is that? How do you get away with that, dude? It's got to be a different angle, I suppose. The amount of blood, blah blah blah. We've heard this before. That's the eyeball. Do it, Phoenix. A statue of a bird. I should take it. Was I allowed to do this before, I wonder? This eye is missing. I wonder what would fit in there. Must not touch that for no reason. Oh, but that shape, I wonder. Good deduction, Phoenix. So what's it gonna do? Open a secret passage? But won't she see all this? I thought we didn't want her to see it. Oh, it didn't look like that color in my inventory. It looked a little different. Kind of Indiana Jones shit. Must be at a loss for words. Doesn't happen often. She's just gonna let me barge in there. Why do I have to explain? Shouldn't you know better than me? Secret rebel hideout. If I'm shot, there's a secret door here. Imagine that goes double for Rafa. Why would they put it here, though? That seems absolutely stupid. I guess because nobody's allowed there, so they would have free reign to go through unseen or something. Right below the prison? Oh, maybe that's why too, to escape. But then he wouldn't have needed the parachute. Let's not enter before the police. You know, if she says no, I just knock her out and just do it. Fuck the prince. Well, but then you'll get killed for that. You see, we don't have time. Okay. Even better, don't cover anything up. Taint of Kee'ra's battles. Well, she is letting you do this. She could easily stop you from the entrance. So do I still have that orb in my inventory? I do like how that orb was on the table the whole time in the High Priest's house. It was a nice little subtle thing. Secret hideout. This reminds me of the auction room in the Blaze the Best case. Investigations 2, case 4. It just kind of has that vibe to it. A bunch of like mishmash stuff. Of course, this stuff isn't for auction, but it just has the same vibe to it. Secret hideout. I believe this is to be a sacred space that enshrines the source of the spring water. You didn't even know this place existed 5 seconds ago. Converted, but nobody checks on this? If it's a known place, what about that Warbod revolving door? Why did it work that way? What if that too was originally intended to hide and protect the sacred place? I don't get it. I think those filthy rebels were scheming their schemes in the small sacred space. The desecration upon khura'anism itself. So just to be clear, their master hideouts are Dirk's old law office, which is pretty obvious that it would have something to do with the rebels, and a sacred inner sanctum that is super conspicuous and obvious. It's a desecration upon khura'anism itself. They shall pay. I'll start by taking a picture of the place. Just the whole thing? You should probably do that everywhere you go. Just don't listen to her, Dad. Rebel hideout photo added to court record. Literally built into the inner sanctum. Now to search every nook and cranny. Just because it's hard for me to see every move, do not use that excuse to touch and break things. No, I'll use it as an excuse to forge evidence, dude. I'll just blow out the candles and say it was an accident, and I'll do whatever I have to do. The Von Karma way. Whatever it takes, dude. No sympathy for this country right now. And I hope we do help the rebels. The statue door rotates when you pull this chain. You must shut the door and destroy its mechanism. That will deprive the insurgents access. But you can have the cops cordon it off now that you know it's here. Would trap me in here. Come to visit you once a year. That's kind of a funny comment. Yeah, good one. Same thing, everyone has these stupid calendars. The villains in the Plume Punisher are based on the insurgents. Wouldn't that be obvious? Must have roused their ire against Lady Kee'ra. I mean, it's a form of expressing the same thing. So propaganda to the media like that is still a form of belittling you. Look. It's a Plume Punisher clock. I believe it's a limited edition. You can't see what time it's supposed to be, huh? You could come here at any time, I guess. The limited edition promotional item given to 50 lucky viewers. This rare item plays the Plume Punisher theme song every hour on the hour. Hand it over now, Bardhead. I thought she wasn't allowed to come in here. Yeah, we get it. Closet fan, not as hidden about it as Edgeworth, but he likes to steal. Samurai, obviously. What a fine item. I thought you weren't supposed to touch anything. Okay, listen to this while we investigate. Insurgents who use this room must be Plume Punisher fans. You just said they didn't like it, Lady Kee'ra, because of that, and the Plume Punisher is based on Lady Kee'ra, right? Okay, they got some old school arrows. Lucky we found them before they could be used, true. Actually praising me for once. Rebellion never happens, I hope it's well, it's already not bloodless. But I suppose with you at the helm, you might actually help them win it in court. That might be the whole point of this. It's what they've been setting up for. Raise their banner amid such a sacred place. Burn it at once. You already messed with the clock. Throw a match in there, you're not supposed to walk in. And don't read that line if you're voice acting. For once, the strange customs of this kingdom are working in my favor. There's something under the banner. A microphone. Someone trying to record or spy with it? Somebody's like a double agent? Recording their secret plans or something? Looks like an order from Dirk. To attack 3 blue things and have 2 yellow things on the other side. Shouldn't she be by the entrance? She wouldn't even be able to see it from there. Now hand it over. Holy Mother, what were they planning? Order intended for that rebel named Dats. It reads, after the Wright infiltrate the palace under the guise of returning Lady Kee'ra's costume. And search for clues about that incident from 23 years ago. But it took them that long to try and do that? Yeah, we're only now gonna figure that out. He's been doing this rebellion for a while. Actually, they didn't say how long exactly, I don't think, but as if it would coincide perfectly with Phoenix being here. It's been 23 years, but only now will we make progress, right when Phoenix can do it for the player's sake. He wants to prove that he had nothing to do with it, or that they're all corrupt. It'll be case 5. Lady Kee'ra's costume is still here, and Abbott and me is no longer able to aid the rebels. That was a pretty quick and brilliant deduction, Phoenix. That's just like decisively shutting her theory down. He saw all the... See, I wish Phoenix was like that more often. That was an awesome moment. Costume's still here, and Abbott can't help them, so he can't do it. He should be like that more often, dude, especially in court. What else do we got? It's just the blood and these things. Maybe the fountain separate from the stones. This is the water source of supplies. As if nobody ever checks this place. Like yearly maintenance even? Weekly? Daily? Lady Kee'ra uses the sacred water to wash the taint of battle from her body. Also not red like the water in the spring. Okay, it's all connected. Or no. So there's some fingerprints there. I wonder what that's about. Or handprints. Shaped like a magatama, I guess. Rather unstable, it tipped over in an earthquake. What's that earthy grass-like smell? Is it that food? No, just moss. That's the only smell mentioned I've heard is to do with the food. It's been disturbed, somebody touched it. Slab's starting to wobble. Too bad they didn't animate that part. What is happening? What have you done to the sacred space? So what are those handprints about? Nothing? Okay. Last thing is the blood. This is where probably Zealot was killed. Or maybe where the victim was killed. So it also answers where Lady Kee'ra came from. She could have been in here at the beginning and come out, killed the priest. She had the key in her house. And what? She had the key in her house. She could have come behind his back ahead of time, waited in here in the how would she have the costume though? She has a second one because she's the real Lady Kee'ra. The rebel disguised as rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kee'ra. Ha ha. But she's the she was waiting here. She came out. She killed him. And then she got out of there. Or she could have even come back inside and waited till everything calmed down and then went home at her leisure because, well, I guess the police would have been watching this place though. So how did she get out still? Then she just walked outside, stabbed Zealot on her way out and nobody noticed anything and then went home? I don't get it. But she had to have come in here. Does that mean he was killed in here though? Are you trying to figure out what happened here? Please do. Emma gave me something just for times like these. Yeah, we finally got to that. You haven't used it once this whole time, you moron. You should have used it in her house, that stupid wife. Can't believe we forgot about that. It only lets you use it when they want you to. You should be able to use it anywhere and just be, you know, intuitive about it. Make up your own mind. Been attacked or blood has been wiped up. So there must be plenty of blood that she wiped up in her house. Lady Kee'ra herself. After a good night on the town murdering people, she comes home, she washes her outfit, some lands on the ground, she cleans it up on the floor. Should check there. Could also use the fingerprinting thing. Oh, I want to see Phoenix with those on now. Too bad it's not in third person. Areas where there was blood will react. We know how this works. Yeah. I mean, there was blood there visibly. He was killed here? I mean... No. A lot of blood here. It's impossible to say much else at this point. Are you stupid, dude? Is he really that dumb? Take a picture of it, okay. It's like with K's, what's it called? The little thief. Just take a picture of the little thief, that's all you have to do. Or just take a picture of the divination seance thing. Although that you might be able to do because it appears in the water or whatever. I didn't notice before. Let's say it looks like it was smeared away. Yeah, that could be why. You could actually test that theory, see how it looks when the bird rotates around. Wait, that was all I had to do. He used luminol one time the whole case. Literally once, in one room. Shouldn't have come here before the police. How did you even know I was here? It's your fault for being so slow. I expect the police to work faster, more efficiently. Oh shit. Why don't we spray some luminol in the priest's house? That's what I want to see. Can't believe that was all there was. Can I spray luminol at will? I guess not. That's kind of lame. It should be a mechanic that you can do anytime, so you're always wondering and planning whether or not to do it. Then you have to actually figure out when the best time to use it is. Alright, so I think we're done here. Man, I wish I could use that. Put the stone back there. She's got what's coming to her. I don't get to talk to her again before we take her down in court. So it seems like Phoenix is going to go into this trial day not knowing for sure who did it. And then he'll have to piece it together as he's there. This might be it. Maybe I should have gone everywhere just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Welcome back. How'd it go? Didn't find anything conclusive. Why I don't give up? You said that. Dude, is she me? She's like read my mind 2 times and now she said exactly what I've been saying all day. Why wouldn't you do it? You know you're gonna lose tomorrow according to them. You've already lost. You have nothing to lose. Why won't you be like Manfred von Karma? Even the game agrees with me, dude. I've been saying it all day. Even the game says it's true. Why not, dude? Not even that, but the stakes are high. The stake is already driven through your heart. You already lost. She was wrong. Yeah, okay, then you're calling yourself stupid. Well, she wasn't saying it with the meaning I said, but still. Sodomy. Seance for zealots. Oh god, we never heard that before. That sounds like it just came into play. Yeah, you absolute fool. Can we just skip it since you've been discredited twice? You should be losing. Neophyte, that's her favorite word. Yeah. Overconfidence will be your downfall. Did not look so. Yeah. Kind of said the same thing twice. I don't mind her, but then we lost in the second part yesterday. So we gotta just let that first case go and try to solve this one. Let bygones be bygones. The zealot was killed during the rite with Lady Kee'ra's dagger. Apparently. Maya's fingerprints were on it, okay. She rehearsed with it, apparently. Creak in a paddle, without a paddle. The day before his murder, he enjoyed a meal. Learned about spirit channeling here in khur'ain. None of that's helpful, it's a lot of different topics. Rebel hunting kee'ra might be working for the Justice Minister, which I did predict. Could have told you that, Phoenix. Supposed to be ruled through faith and laws. It makes sense though, doesn't it? It's too convenient that she only kills Rebel. And that how can she just get away with it every time? It's basically like calling themselves incompetent. We can't catch this one Rebel hunter. Or even if they weren't working together, you could still say, oh, they're being lenient. Like they're deliberately letting them get away with it because they want, you know, they're happy with what they're doing and killing rebels, doing their jobs for them. So the government is neither catching the rebels, nor the vigilante killing the rebels, nor stopping the rebellion altogether. So it just makes them look bad either way. Why do you need this person to do your work for you? Kingdom is supposed to be ruled through faith and law. But if that Lady Kee'ra really is one of Minister Inga's subordinates, that would exonerate Miss Maya. How would that exonerate Maya? Well, if the killer was... It doesn't matter who it is as long as it's not her, but... Man, this is going to be a big government conspiracy. It's odd that they're even letting you do this then. They should have just executed you and nobody would ask questions. I guess they're more prone to scrutiny than maybe I'm giving them credit for. They're pretty careful about not doing stuff like that. So they want a show trial where it seems like everything's fair, but it's actually not. They don't expect that you can figure the whole thing out. Forgot about the secret rebel hideout we found at the Inner Sanctum. There was a blood stain inside. I don't know how. How could it not be connected to the case? A huge hit with It's like the bellboy in the original game. Everything's a business opportunity. Murder Manor. What I mean is the hideout could be important to your case. Still too early to tell. Arg. Without any useful evidence. I mean, might actually help us. No, it hasn't every time so far. We just end up making her look stupid. Royal Priestess Insight are just another piece of evidence. You shouldn't treat them as a negative. It's all about how you look at it. Worked both ways before the DC Act, so it should work the same way now. It's only now. Yeah, it all depends how you look at it. So right, I just wanted to say good luck tomorrow. You won't be there with us. I mean, you'll be watching. Oh, that took a bit longer than I thought, but all sorts of information, but you haven't connected the dots. I'll definitely do a review tomorrow and try to figure that out before the trial starts. But I don't have a strong theory. I have a shot pulling off a win. So I guess the wife is a rebel too. I don't know about that. I take that back. She's working for the government. I don't know. The deciding factor. It's a huge gamble, but it's all I've got. Well, you can't avoid them even if you didn't want to take the gamble. You're building your case on them, like you want them to. You're relying on something that you've discredited twice in a row. Successfully. That really took the whole day, huh? I'm very thorough with this, I don't mind. I guess that's really all we got. I mean, I can't look at the evidence here, can I? So somehow he went in the secret passage. The victim knew about it. He was a rebel. That's already been established. Somehow he was killed in there and then brought outside. Or the blood just ended up there from the thing spinning around. But at the very least, Lady kee'ra could have come from there. So now we know how she got there. That was the big question hanging over the trial before. It was like, how did she get there? And in addition to that, I guess I'll save it for next time.